those of you who watched the last stream, you notice I've got that little bobbly bit on the end of my microphone. I'm going to do some smart car racing today. See who else turns up. Hopefully I've got sound. I can't hear anything because there's no sound right now. And hopefully I haven't muted my microphone. I have not. Go me. Properly professional on this channel. I notice a brake/TC option there. Let me just get my seatbelt on. And did I turn the motion platform on? Yes, I did. Good, because sometimes I forget. Hello, Shauka? I'm just guessing. ABS on. Oh, it has traction control. Maybe it's... Oh, it's... No, it's Mr. Lockdown, that's me. Hey, Shark, I can hear you breathing. I was wondering if we've got to the point where we should spend a little bit less time blasting through lots of different cars and start doing some longer races. To encourage, you know, a little bit more... what's the word? Sensible driving.
Here.
Something looks very different. It looks very sharp. I mean, there hasn't been a patch because we patched it, but it looks really, really sharp. I wonder why. I wonder if I've just got the headset better aligned today. When you say here, do you mean on this track or? Sunroof. I'm going to have to adjust my VR headset some more. I'm trying to get the, trying to do it so it's not putting pressure on the back of my head, but rather underneath. The problem is, as I look up, like all the weight shifts around the helmet. I so look forward to the next generation of VR headsets, which just weigh less and less until they're these sort of gossamer things we put on our heads.
And not inbuilt?
Inbuilt to what? My head?
Optical nerve or somewhere.
When was the last time you had a piece of software or hardware crash on you?
I guess. That's one hazard of that.
I had to go and reboot both my car and my internet router today in order to persuade it to download a patch. As we say on this channel a lot, the future is stupid, but when that's, you know, the situation and you're pushing signals right into my optic nerve, no, I don't think so. This is a great little car, this is. I mean, they're great in real life, but it's especially cool. I need to thrash the nuts off it though. There's no, this thing, the real ones definitely do not rev to 10k. Quite low, grunty cars with little turbo, little inline 3. Also, rear ones get aerodynamically unstable at about 110 miles an hour. Thankfully, this one does not suffer from that. Does suffer from some cack-handed driving, but that's a me thing. There's definitely something.
Yes, nothing has happened to the echo.
No, I need at some point to like do a private stream because it only happens on the stream, and the issue is I have no way of listening to the echo because I can't hear the echo. The laptop can't hear the echo, but the stream can, and it's so confusing where the echo is coming from. I mean, I understand what the echo is. It's the same signal twice. But what I probably need to do is try and solve it whilst I'm on a Discord call on my phone with my other Discord account, try and work out what's what. Or something. don't... Oh, there you go. I think I could do with making the yaw more sensitive in this car.
What car are we using?
The micro shell. Definitely not a smart 450. Definitely not. I don't see very many models updating their cars, which is a shame, because I mean this is a good sort of first job. The handling's fine, but I can really do with them fixing the interior, which is just. I suspect the mod authors that are do have VR do a great job in the interiors, and the other people don't.
What is the car called?
Micro shell. Like the lady from Portal, and a small version of her, Micro Shell. Micro Sea Hell, if you prefer. I just looked at the installed ones, by the way, because it's about third down the list of cars we ran last time. It's a good little car. Nice, it's rear-wheel drive, so Tad will like it.
Hello.
Hello.
Available for racing for once.
Marvellous. How's the cat? I mean, how are you doing?
Tired.
Oh, you're doing your how is a 4-day working week?
Long, but the weekends are nice, I suppose. But it's more the cat going nuts.
What I used to do with Cephie and Ajax, when in their first year or so, I would play with them extensively after 6 PM, and if they went to sleep between 6 PM and my bedtime, I'd wake them up to play. And they're kittens, they're always up for playing, but it meant that they tended to sort of have less energy overnight. So,
yeah,
you can have
we
that.
have tried that. Well, we'll probably keep trying it.
How old is she?
She's a 3. At the moment, she's laying in the middle of the hall staring at me.
Years or months?
Years.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you should better wear her out. If she's 3 months old, forget it.
What car are we in?
The Micro Shell. If you just search Micro in the list, you should find it.
Oh, it's a smart car.
It's a smart car. It's actually pretty good. I assure you real smart cars do not accelerate like this, but because it's short and light, it's very forgiving. It's rear-wheel drive, so it's kind of fun. It's just definitely one of my favourite cars. It also speed the pit lane, so you want to watch out for that.
Yeah, I may have done that already.
Actually, I think of it as a warm-up rather than any sort of race. It's a shame Malcolm isn't here. I wanted to chat with him. He wants to do some more VR games. I'm like, yes, let's do more. And then we just have to find some.
If I dare at the moment with the cat running around.
Yeah.
She keeps finding holes in the room that I didn't really know that cats would have any interest in.
Well, Dora likes that. So we've got like a sofa bed thing, and there's like a bit under it she can get under. She loves to go under it. So I started dissuading her, because when she goes under it, I just stare at her. And she hates it because she thinks she can hide there. So I'm trying to persuade her that's not a place she can hide at. Have you got your car yet?
No, they've pushed back the delivery date again.
Wow. So Tesla don't do that. Tesla don't push back delivery dates because they damn well know when your car's going to be. They're very good at that. But right now, Model 3s, if you buy one now, you get it in November.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
I mean, we...
Whoa.
I was supposed to have mine January, end of. And 2 of the directors at the company that I work for have ordered Teslas. So one was... Crap, what's the reset button? Space? Okay. So one ordered a Model 3, which was in stock. So he'll have it next week, I think, actually. Before I get my car, which I ordered like 3 months prior.
Oh yeah. This is what happens when you control most of your own supply chain.
Yeah. And the other ordered Model Y, but we don't know when he's receiving that yet.
Yeah, I mean, first Model Y shipment arrives 1st of March, I think, and for delivery on the 7th. They're doing a big thing, some sort of special event.
I think the idea is that he's going to try and get his for April, but I don't know if that's even feasible.
Yeah, possibly. They've just started to offload the very first ones at Southampton docks. This is the thing; it's the transparency. So there are people who just.
Can I be true?
There are people who just watch all of the shipping movements of Teslas. So there's no surprise. Whereas EW go, oh, we don't know, whenever. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I wasn't best pleased, but we'll see. If they delay it again, I might comment and be like, can you at least give me the information so I can track this myself?
Well, yeah, I mean, it probably hasn't been made yet. What between being made and being delivered is going to be not even a month.
I did read that any cars that were being manufactured after December were going up a model. They were going to the 22.5 model or something. But I did ask the lease company if that were the case, and they said no. So it might be that it's built but not finished.
Maybe they just they've run out of some of the bits.
Yeah, I've heard through I don't know how accurate sources, but the heads-up displays in them, they just can't get the parts for them.
Yeah. So Tesla's got something else they won't come with. Oh yeah. So Teslas have a fail-safe second power steering motor that is only used when you are using full self-driving, because when you're using full self-driving you have to have a motor to steer, and if that motor fails you can't just go, oh well, no steering for you. So they have two motors.
Yeah.
So they have removed one of those motors that will get retrofitted to your car, because obviously you don't need it because you can't do full self-driving in Europe.
Not yet.
Not yet. But then I have all the motors stuff that. But yeah, this global chip shortage is just crazy, and also it has kind of shown up that just in time is a not very reliable way of running your business, even if it's slightly cheaper.
No.
So remember, if it goes wrong, take your foot off the accelerator. Don't put your foot on the brake, and just steer well. On the last race, I actually flipped the car, but managed to get it back on its wheels and limp over the line.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm getting my car. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about charging it either. That's going to be an interesting one, especially if I've got a cat that goes ballistic.
I mean, it's not that hard to run a cable out. I mean, I linked you the letterbox cables already, didn't I?
Yeah, I'll be probably picking up one of them.
Yeah. I mean, what I did,
the RCD on it,
because I've got a garage, and I can't fit a car in the garage, but what I can do is run a cable out of the garage quite easily. So then I just bought an outside wall socket for like 30 quid, like a weatherproof one, and just screwed it to a bit of the fence, like dumb. So if you can get anywhere getting a cable outside the house, then you can just put a waterproof socket up and done.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't really go through any of the walls or anything.
No, but... So
can't open the windows either.
No, but you've got a letterbox. That's a definite. You might also have a vent for like a toilet or things like that. There are usually various little vents out of houses. So
there may be one, but I think it's out the back, and we don't have access to the rear of the house. Well, at least for a car, anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't need it. All you need is to get outside, and then you just run a cable all the way around to where you want it. You can run a 100-foot cable. There's no problem with that.
Well, yeah. It's gotta be sized right, though.
Yeah, but it might also be you just say to your landlord, "Can we fit a 32-amp commando socket outside?" And it'll cost you about 100 quid. They're not likely to say no, because that means the house gets more. I mean, don't do it yourself, obviously. But just get an electrician to fit a weatherproof 32-amp commando socket. And having a electric car charger on a house now does push the price of the house up a bit. It's something people look for. But yeah, I think I'm going to get a 32-amp commando socket and see how much that costs, because I've seen quotes of like an hour and 30 quid to get them done, as opposed to 500 quid to get a proper EV charger fitted.
That's fair.
Which is ridiculous. But the grants for getting an EV charger disappears next month. And the grant's and the grant's 300. So the grant was 500 quid. And then the grant went down to 350 quid. And apparently a lot of the EV installation costs went down by 150 pounds at that point. So people reckon the price would just go down by another 350 quid very early April.
Well, certainly hope so. I was chatting with one of the Sparkies at work, and he basically said that the difficulty with installing the actual charge boxes is the DC leakage, that you've got to make sure isn't there.
Is that the pen?
Because what it...
something Earth, something...
Yeah, it was just to do with the car being DC, I guess, and just going back into your house supply.
No, what?
But if you're not careful...
Wait, what? Alright.
No, hang on, that's not right.
No, he's wrong full stop, because that's not how it works. Unless you have a Nissan Leaf with vehicle to grid, which is one car and only one, it's AC charging and it does not send current in the other direction. He's talking absolute shit. It's AC
Basically,
charging, not DC.
The DC charge, the DC leakage that you can get is enough to mask an RCD. And that's why you need special qualification for fitting them, basically. Going backwards on the circuit is bollocks. I don't know where I came
Whoa, I rolled it! Yeah, that's just crap. That's just so electric cars are DC for fast charging, which you do not have. You have three choices. You have 13 amp, 7 kilowatts. You have 32 amp, which is 11 kilowatts, and then you have 13 amp, 3-phase, which is 48 kilowatts. That my maths is off there. Whatever 48 kilowatts is. Those are your only three options for AC charging. You do not get any DC anything unless you're not even plugged into the right socket for DC charging. So the complex round socket with lots of knobs, that's AC. The double pins is DC, and you don't use that one at home. So I'm really confused what he thinks he's saying. Really, like, the only one that does it are the Chadbo connectors, and only Nissan put them in because it's a Japanese standard.
Yep.
I know something Earth something, because but you don't need that with a commando socket. Only with a proper car charger. So I'm just gonna get a commando socket fitted.
I don't even think I've got a 32 amp breaker in my house.
Really?
The main one is, but I don't think any of the
What's your main breaker?
ring mains or anything are. I think the main breaker might be 32.
Seriously?
So 32 or 64.
I've got two 80s.
Yeah, I was surprised when I looked in the fuse board when we moved in, because we've got two rings for sockets and they're both 16s, and I was like, ooh,
that's not enough.
No. I have actually had the one that my room is on trip, but it's really, really weirdly wired because it goes from my room to one of the sockets in the living room and a couple of sockets in the kitchen, and then the other one covers everything else in the house. It's really strange.
This sounds just like get someone to put a bigger breaker in.
Yeah. Well, that's cheap rental houses.
Yeah.
Well, not cheap rental houses, expensive rental houses with cheap landlords.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said to say if you offer to get a external socket, even just a normal external socket is fine. Get a nice external weatherproof 13 amp socket. You know, it's perfect. I mean, that will cost you, 30 quid plus you'll supply the socket or something like that. It won't cost very much, and there's very little reason the landlord would say no, because you get it done properly, obviously, and it would improve the quality and value of his house. Yeah, I clipped a curb round the first corner of the hairpin, just rolled it.
Flipped it.
Yeah, quite a high centre of gravity, these little things. Vroom indeed, Tad. You like this? It's rear-wheel drive. And this is why you never give up.
Now it's showing the actual mod car on the records.
I think it always did. Otherwise, it's only in that thing there. The 3-letter code is mod. Cannot show personal best. You must be in race with a car. Good, very good, Andy. Very good. Have you warmed up now?
I could. Yeah, I think so.
Good, good. Oh! I do have some fun things to talk about, but I can't talk about them on stream, so I shall have to talk to you off stream about them, but they are electricity related.
So DC leakage protection is a mandatory protection function which must be established on all charge points. DC can appear on its own electricity thing caused by a faulty electric car. So it's basically minute amounts of DC ending up in the
I guess if the because the Tesla has 3 I'm going to say inverters, but that might not be the right term. I'll say inverters. I think it's got 3 thingies to go AC to DC.
3 motor drivers.
Sure, those. If they're knackered, well, no, it has 1 per phase, so it can accept up to 3 phases of AC.
Ah, right. Rectifier?
I don't know. Full bridge rectifier, half bridge rectifier. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Either, you know.
I don't know. I'm gonna say
many diodes.
I'm gonna say no, and it's an inverter. Inverter is DC to AC, isn't it, or AC to DC?
Inverter is DC to AC.
Or the other way around. Or is that reverter? Is that just a verter?
I would just call AC to DC a rectifier, but
Okay, fine. It's got 3 rectifiers. I've no idea how you get the laps you do, Schalke, with the front wheel angle you do. You look like you go full lock round the corners.
It drives very differently. Optimal line seems to be very different.
Yes, because it's light. You want a late apex, not a lot of power, not do what I did. Step the rear out on a smart car. Interesting, the real ones won't let you do that because they have the Mercedes Trust system, which doesn't allow you to skid or drift or wheel spin or anything fun.
No fun allowed. I did spin up the game development and tried out moving forwards with head nods, and it was not so stellar that I thought it would be.
Sorry. Steering the game by tilting your head?
Yeah.
That sounds just like the most awful, awful, awful idea ever.
It was not so good as I thought, but it's not super garbage.
Is that something in Divis
Halo
Feet?
driving controls.
Yeah, but on your headset.
Yeah.
There was one game that had, or I guess it was where you were looking, was controlling Raise the Sun, had a VR mode where you could steer by head movement.
My biggest problem with these cars, by the way, is they're so short that there will never be significant overlap. Oh my god! Brakes, brakes, brakes.
Oh god. Oh.
So these do have ABS, so you can stand on the brakes and do trail braking nice and easily. That's better. That's more like it.
God, I'm being meowed at.
Aww.
Where are you going?
Aww.
No, don't go up there.
Tell her I love her.
Adam says he loves you, but don't go up there.
Did you hear? Did I tell you the story about the thermal imaging camera?
I don't know.
I got a thermal imaging camera.
I saw all the photos, or some of the photos at least.
I got some photos of Dora. Coldest part of a cat.
Nose?
Yep, very good. Warmest part of a cat?
Ears?
No, eyes. Second warmest part of a cat?
Oh, I don't know. Belly somewhere.
Bumhole.
You're gonna be pumped out by this.
But
yes, as I said, and with the colours that my imaging camera does, it's proper Eye of Sauron thing. I will get a photo at some point because there aren't any on the internet, quite surprisingly, of cats' bums in IR.
cat's asses with a thermal camera.
Yeah. Oh, I should have blocked, Schalke. What was it? Grr. I had right away to block then.
Don't go into the window.
And I want to get a cold start of my computer as well, so I think that'd be quite fun. And I want to get a cold start of the Impreza too. I think that should be actually quite cool to watch. The engine, not just sitting in the car.
Here's where I turned on the heater.
How do you count when it's stopping? Can you like notice when it's not getting any more warmer?
Uh-oh, where did you just go?
Probably when it just stops looking interesting on the camera, I'll stop. Because I mean, a car engine takes 10 minutes or so to warm up, but it'll actually be quite interesting. Probably if you revved it, you'd see it glow as well. Because fundamentally, you've got a big box you burn petrol in.
Wouldn't the thermal camera scale the temperature, so it will kind of just look like the rest of the engine's getting cold?
A little bit. You can set it to a fixed exposure if you want. Like it's quite powerful. I mean, it's designed for professional use. It's just that they because mine's lightning, they've marked it down in price because obviously everyone's USB-C now.
We use them for circuit analysis occasionally.
Yes, that's kind of why I've got one, was for the arcade, to sort of have a look, because we do quite often look inside just, ones that are playing silly buggers, and then we just sort of touch all the chips in turn, and I'm like, this seems like a very rubbish idea, and takes a while. But bear in mind, these are chips from the 80s, they're whacking great ICs.
Yeah, I've burnt my fingers on hot chips before. I wouldn't really be like, yeah, I'm going to volunteer to stick my hand in there.
I think we don't remember, nearly everything at the arcade runs on 12 volt.
So
I think,
not so bad then.
Yeah. But sometimes we get edge connectors, and basically they've got dirty or a bad contact, so then you're trying to shove a lot of current through a small area, and then the edge connector gets warm. That happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to detect, but this should actually throw it up quite quickly. But mostly I got it because A, Predator is cool, and B, I have always wanted one. I just haven't come up with a great use case for it. I wish Isolde was here. I have a question for him. I do have a constant and ongoing issue with this Quest 2. I'm not even sure how to describe it, unless I don't play any other games on the rig on the Quest 2. So I can't even say what, if it's the headset or the cable or what. Also, we should try R Factor 2, because it got a massive patch, and apparently they redid the UI completely from the ground up, and now it's not 5 years out of date.
I've lost the cat in my room somewhere. She was behind me and now she's gone.
She is... What's her name?
Safi.
Ah.
I think she might be in the window, but I don't know.
Well, she's allowed to go wherever she wants. It's her house now. You're just merely a custodian of the house and an opener of cat food.
Yeah, she made that very clear quickly.
I said I'm going to an EV car meetup on Saturday, which should be quite amusing, I feel. The slogan is changing minds one tailpipe at a time, which I thought was quite amusing. But it's a old motorbike cafe called Revs and Relics, so it doesn't really fit EVs at all. But the thing is, they've just announced it on the Revs and Relics forums, with all the usual comments. Oh, you're going to have to charge it. Oh, hope it doesn't... Fuck's sake, again, I've rolled it again. Hope it doesn't rain, because they won't work. And I did like the comment that came back from the Revs and Relics people, which was, it doesn't matter if it rains, it's not an electric... it's not an Italian motorbike, it can work in the rain. Italian motorbikes are famed for only working when it's nice weather.
Whoa.
Oh, good lap.
Good lap.
Mine was a good lap till the car went a bit sideways.
It's a good thing you went to the pits, because I would have absolutely crashed into you. Like, at that point.
Come on, I crashed the car, 2 corners at the end of the race. I don't think, by the way, that we can add AI, can we? If we end race, can I see if I can add AI? Don't think we can, because
Just move
I don't think it's a racing
Move
line.
the curtain, and there is a cat staring at me through it. She's obviously looking out the window.
Ah,
Let's say add AI driver though.
Could not load AI path. Right, but it has. It's added one called AI John and AI Bob.
It might not work with mod cars.
Well, yeah, but it says I'm not doing that, and then it does it. Are you joining Schalke?
Yeah, I just pressed the wrong button to go backwards.
They do very deliberate patching in this game, don't they? Like slow. Here's a massive great feature because they're promising a new tyre model. I really hope they fix the shader on the paint because it is just PlayStation 2, not anything even slightly modern. I want to pick.
There you go. It's the AC/DC conversion in the charger. Can create DC current apparently.
AC to DC in the charger. You mean?
Well, yeah, because
in the
you've
car.
got to take the. Well, I don't know if it's in the car or in the brick or whatever. But...
No, so without exception, car chargers basically do nothing. Car chargers are almost literally a cable with electricity coming down it. The car does all of the work. Right.
I'm done selecting core.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Mr. Chicken.
Oh.
But we don't have to wait for Mr. Chicken. We can go without him. Oh, could not open. Okay. I think it's just errored at me because of the AI. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. I don't know why it can't just take my lap and go, right, I'll just aim for your best lap. Like, it should just use my personal best. Andy and Mr. Chicken need to hit go. That's not the right car. It's a very cool car, though. We're in the microgel. Mr. Chicken is in a Le Mans car. Which is super cool.
How do you see that? I'm not even.
Click on his name.
Ah, I see.
Does my Fleer have a tripod attachment? No, but my phone does. I think Mr. Chicken has gone AFK.
You did.
Oh, that would help. Yes, you were on the wrong car.
Nice.
Yeah, I realised that. Microshell couldn't find it.
Alright, well, we'll restart in a sec then once you've found the start thing. In the meantime, I'll just ram Andy. Yes!
Not as bad for me, considering I'm not in VR and I'm not in a motion ring. If I do this, it...
Ow! It's quite hard to click on the menus when I get rammed as well. Like, when Wreckfest finishes, it's really hard to click back to lobby. Wow, that is quite a colour car then, Mr. Chicken.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can count up how many different types of car at the EV meet, and I suspect nearly all of them will be Nissan Leafs. I do hope somebody turns up in like a converted classic.
Well, Leafs are good. I did test drive one. It was definitely up there on.
Oh yeah,
that I would.
They are fun. The thing about the Leaf, they do have an important thing. Whenever someone goes, oh, you can't own an electric car unless you're rich, I can just respond with, you can buy a second-hand Nissan Leaf for £6,000. Like, there you go. You can buy a cheap electric car. No ifs, no buts. End of argument.
How much is a G-Wiz?
They don't make them anymore, thankfully, and we don't talk about G-Wizes. For those of you who don't know, G-Wiz, they were the first mass-market electric car, but they were about the speed and power of a milk float. I think they were lead-acid as well, weren't they?
I'm not entirely sure. I know they were tiny.
But they hurt the image of EVs so much. The Nissan Leaf is just basically a car. It's just a normal car with quite an amusing amount of torque. But the G-Wiz really set back the image of EVs because it was about, I don't know, 40-mile range, top speed of about 45 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in 11 seconds, those sort of stats. Absolutely awful. Cheap as anything. But I still see
Oh,
that.
shit.
Still people
Oh,
going,
shit.
oh,
Oh, shit.
you know, the electric cars are slow and have no range. It's like, yeah, what you just said it hasn't been true for about 10 years. Did you roll it, Henry? Or are you gay?
No.
You only spun it.
Spun it.
This car's got quite a high centre of gravity, so be careful about hitting the curbing on the inside of corners. It's quite a good car though. It's quite fun.
Oh.
I don't know if you watched the. Did you watch the Grand Tour, like the French cars?
Oh, I haven't
one that
seen
came out recently?
Menage or Trois or Seaman. No, I have seen Seaman.
It's genuinely brilliant, but they climb in a Peugeot 208, and when I drove the EV version of it, like there was something I couldn't quite pin. I really didn't like it, and they're basically like, yeah, the steering wheel is just like ludicrously close to the seat,
Yes.
or really low down for some reason. And then as soon as I said that, I was like, that was the that was the problem.
Is it not
Yeah.
adjustable?
Well, I didn't play with it too much, but it was very cramped when I got in it. I just couldn't pin down why, and it was something to do with the steering wheel being in a very stupid place. But I would highly recommend watching that. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
it's on my to-do list. I have only seen the first episode, but I can also recommend Reacher. I've had it recommended by a few people, and I watched the first episode, and it is fucking great. So it's the same. It's the TV show based on the same book that the Jack Reacher film was based on. Only this time they've correctly cast the guy, which is this enormous 6'5" bloke made of muscles. And I really enjoyed the first episode. And if you've not seen Book of Boba Fett, it's awesome. Last episode was brilliant. Just proper. Not again. Saved it.
Saved it.
I did.
I'm assuming I need to finish The Mandalorian before
Well, you should
watching
do.
the Book of Boba Fett.
Wait,
I-
hold on. You haven't finished The Mandalorian. So Mandalorian S2E6 is in my opinion, one of the finest bits of TV history. It is superb. So, yeah, you should definitely watch it. What the fuck?
I think I've started season 2, but then I moved house and forgot about it.
Well, just watch it in your car. You've got a normal car now.
Yeah. the
UK
Fiesta.
server hosted on North American servers. What? Is he talking about his ping?
Possibly?
Because we play with North American people with shit internet. Hey, Tad. So, Andy, you need to learn to go into the corners a bit slower. Go into the corners slower, come out faster. Yes, I can host a more local server on a high packet rate, but then our American friends can't. Also, latency in this game is an irrelevance. Unless you're on a shit internet connection. Yeah, why does this person care about 100 ping?
Well, he has Japanese characters, so
Everyone has
I guess
Japanese
Japan
characters in
would
this game.
Oh. I guess Japan would like have some smaller ping to America.
Yeah, well, he's got a ping of
Yeah.
30, so he's got the lowest ping, so I don't know why he's complaining.
Complaining on our behalf.
Bye, Tyler.
Well,
But, I mean, there's no issue with a 1/10 of a second ping. Certainly not in a game. Good save, Andy. Not in a game where you're not shooting. Don't you beep at me, young man.
sorry. My feet were being sniffed, so I was I was distracted.
Well, say hi to Lauren while she's down there. Hey.
I guess the five lap things that we have done don't factor the car wear so much.
No.
Which I guess is somewhat unique to this game.
What's the meat lot like? Tire wear.
Tire wear, yeah. And I guess fuel management is not so exciting, but
No. Well, we can switch on the force a pit stop per race. I just can't remember what the command is. we entirely lost Mr. Chicken?
Yeah, I spun a few times again.
Ah. Rear-wheel drive car, don't forget.
Usually when I just hit the curb on the exit of the last corner,
And
it just sort of lifts me up and
yeah,
spins.
and not in the good way.
No.
Whoa, drifting, skidding. I'm dealing with a knackered steering rack because although I saved it in the sense I didn't roll it, I very, very much knackered myself. If I let go of the steering, the car just does that, like all the way over there. Oh yes, I took a photo of the motion rig under infrared thermal imaging at the end of the last session. The warmest thing by far is the motor in the steering wheel, closely followed by where I had my hands, and then the motors for the actual rig itself, and then the gas struts that provide the damping. So I was quite surprised where the heat was until I was like, oh yeah, of course. Oh, come on, car.
Shit.
Yes. Andy said shit. Second place is within my grasp. Oh, no, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
To win the race, one must keep all the wheels on the ground.
Oh, I did very well up until then.
Without wheels, you could finish with flying colors.
I'll give that one a 7 out of 10, I think. Bit like my parking maneuver. Oh, wrong gear. Yeah, my car... So, this is what does annoy me. So, my car is damaged, fine. So, it wants to pull to the right, fine. When I let go, the steering wheel does almost... well, there's centred, and I let go, and it does that. So, the 4-speed back end of the game is absolute bollocks. It really, really is. That's just not how it works. When the car is stopped, under no circumstances will the wheel spin. Because there's no force to... Well, that's how they did the rest of your race, Henry. When you came in last. So, be careful about, too much power during the coming out of corners and stuff. Don't hit the curbs. Beep, 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 beep. That doesn't work, but shouting go does. If you have a dozen people who shout go, at least 4 of them will jump the lights. Oh, I've noticed a bug in this car. It has no brake light. Oh, you guys didn't brake, one of the two.
No, it doesn't have brake lights.
Broke light?
Ooh. The broke lights broke.
So you change out of 4th at 101 in this car.
Yeah, it's a short 4th, I think. Sorry, long 4th.
It's a 6th as well. It's got, like,
yeah, I don't get out of 5th really.
No.
The automatic gearbox does it at 108.
No, I don't have enough. The gearing is too short to get into 6. Brake earlier, Andy.
Oh.
Take the corner slower, Henry.
Where's the apex? Where's the apex?
It's the bit on the inside. Oh, I got past without contact. Go me. Oh no, I don't shout. Oh, I don't have to let you pass. We've stopped warming up now.
Ooh.
Oh, little bit of power slide.
Wait for them to make a
Whoa!
mistake.
Too much power slide.
Like that.
Like that.
Oh, I was doing so well. That was a great bit of racing though there. That was awesome. Schalke trying looking for an opportunity, then closing the door, and then just putting the car into a flat spin coming out of the corner. So not all perfect. Like in theory, the whole race should be like that. Should be close run, diving, looking for exits and opportunities the whole way.
Oh, bollocks.
In practice, Henry looks like a newbie on his first day. That was quite, again, just a... You just get a flat spin in this car, don't you? Just the rear loses it, so there's not much you can do. I am disappointed. That was going very, very well. They have warmed up.
Keep the pressure. You made a mistake under pressure. Tried to hold the door. So...
I did. I'm not actually sure what happened though. Like I was going uphill, and I may have just put the power down a little bit too soon or a bit too hard. Just the rear lost it. There's just nothing I could do apart from slide. But previously, I did a wonderful power slide on it. Because this car is quite suited to that because it's short and rear wheel drive.
Seems to lose a lot of speed when being sideways.
Well, it doesn't have much power. I mean, these things tuned, very tuned. They have like 130 horsepower. I don't know what this one's got. I've driven a 130 horsepower Smart 450, and they basically wheelie when you put your foot down on an every gear change. They are way too short for that much power. I do wish this game had catch-up though. I know it's not realistic, but it does make for more interesting races.
Yeah.
And again, if you're a sim purist, you don't join servers with it on. If you want a bit more close, you know, neck and neck stuff, you do. Or just simply, the person in first place gets a 10% power loss. Just as simple as that. You get in first place, so you'll be basically everyone will slowly catch up, and you'll be constantly fighting for first place, which is not realistic, but is more fun and more interesting.
With the longer races, people that were in first, or like were riding tooth and nail for it, usually blew tires and had more clutch problems. But that kind of worked as a soft catch-up mechanism.
Yes, if you're pushing it harder, you will get through... Well, in theory, if you're pushing it harder, you get through tyres harder, but braking too hard and doing corners badly will also get through tyres.
It kind of evens out because taking the corner smoothly so the wear is optimal can compete with having time optimality.
Oh yeah, as we said, the your best lap is your most boring one.
I just did exactly the same lap time as I did last time.
Consistency is an excellent skill to have. Unless your lap time was like 4 minutes each time, in which case it's a bit less good.
I'm ahead of you, so...
Yeah, because I span and I've caught up nearly all of that room, so...
it still counts.
It counts until about 2 more corners, I think. That's the worst thing about not being in VR. If I flash my lights, you don't get to see it. Probably can't hear my horn either.
I can't. Well, I can hear the clicking.
Well, beep, beep, beep. Too fast.
That was the handbrake, not the...
You should get a real handbrake, Henry. Because you never.
We'll look out for it.
You never hit that by mistake. You can, like I said, you can buy a normal handbrake and the Leonardo and everything a lot cheaper. I just couldn't be bothered to build it myself. I mean, it's proper cheap though, so they didn't even bother to recode the Leonardo to appear as, you know, USB handbrake, because it appears as a device called Arduino Leonardo. Like, thanks guys. I think I could copy the flash off it, tweak that string and put it back, but I just kind of don't want to touch it. There you go, Andy, much better.
Nah.
And I have the best lap of the race, despite having balls up one of the corners. And this one.
Yeah, she's been hopping in the window.
Ah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute.
How come you've got a 3-year-old cat?
Lauren wanted cat.
No, why
Oh,
3-year-old?
cat.
Why not a new cat?
Oh,
Why have
we
you got
didn't really want.
why have you got a second-hand cat? There we go.
Why have I got a second-hand cat?
Yeah.
We just didn't want to go through the whole kitten phase.
The
training.
best phase.
Only if you have the time and attention to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're in rented place, we don't want to train a kitten not to damage everything. So we wanted a cat that was house trained already, really, to
Yeah.
not
I mean, Dora's
ruin all the furniture and walls.
Dora's house trained, but she's a little shitbag. So, Dora knows very clearly she's not allowed on the kitchen side, and she's not allowed on the kitchen table. She's very, very clear on this. And she will do things like sit on a chair and put 2 paws on the kitchen table. When I shout, take one off. So I shout again, then she puts the other paw on and takes the first one off. But she knows she's not. 100%. Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So, the other day, on Wednesday, I went outside, and then I had to pop around the back of the house, and I looked in, and I had been out of the house all of 15 seconds, and Dora got up on the kitchen work surface, which we thought she didn't do. And then I shouted at her, and she just kind of looked at me, and she sort of cowered for a moment, and then went, "No, I'm good, because you're outside, and you'll have to go quite a long way to come inside." So she's a
Yeah, they're not daft.
a strong-willed.
They know they're doing something bad.
Yes, I did see someone say animals cannot sin because they do not know the difference between right and wrong. And it's like, you've never owned a cat, have you? Dogs, absolutely as well. They know the difference between right and wrong, at least within your what you've taught them as right and wrong. But the difference is dogs will go, I'm really sorry. Cats will go, what you can do about it. Sometimes they say Dora does something naughty and I admonish her. You know, I'll hit her or shout at her. But sometimes she takes me, you know, not punching her, but just giving her a wallop. She takes it as a, oh, we're going to fight. Like, no, we're not fighting. This is me admonishing you. This is not a two-way street. You have been naughty.
Bring it.
Don't do it again. But can you imagine, like, can you genuinely imagine that you are living with what, an 80-foot tall giant, and it hits you, you go, right, I'll fucking have you. Like, well, you won't, will you? Yeah, no brake lights. This is what I mean about I don't feel that they're patching the cars enough. Like the modded ones.
On the top. Brake lights on the top.
Really? None of them working for me.
So.
Oh, there's a car on my left. There's a
Oh,
head
shit.
all over the oh dear.
He's gone.
Shall we restart? Because that was quite
Can do. Either or, don't mind.
Carry on if you want, I don't mind.
well, it's more fun to have a pack of cars. So what did you do there? I mean, it just looked like you're putting the power down. So they're quite short. So once you've got a bit of turn on, you need to not put your foot down on the throttle. They do have enough power to break traction. I know it's not, you know, a V8 Mustang. And I don't know about the torque curve. It does show you the torque curve, but the real ones are turbocharged. And if that's the case, you will get into the boost partway round the corner as you're coming out of it, and that will happily upset the car. And you don't have to give way. I did leave you enough room. Like, if you think you've got right, Andy, you damn well hold it. Don't give it up. And Ramshalka, because that made me feel better.
Oh, I can't see the brake lights, so...
Well, it's because we're going down the fastest bit of the track. But Henry's in VR, so Henry can see me.
Yeah. See it. I can see the flash it.
Sixth gear. Okay, I'm gonna brake early. I put him right off. So brake in a straight line. That's also important.
So the lower brake lights don't work, but the brake light bar at the top of the car does work.
Right. Well, in that case, you guys aren't braking anywhere near enough because I haven't seen your ones at all. Shauka, if you get in front of me, can you just put your brakes on so I can see it, please?
Brake check.
Yeah.
So
You don't want me to get front?
So, these smart cars suffer from the same issue that real ones do. Shauka is so close that in the rearview mirror, it looks like he's inside the car. Because they're very short. I get this in the smart car. When I'm parking it, I stop going, oh, well, I'm basically, it must be an inch from the car. And you get out and you're like 3 feet from the thing you're parking against because it's so small. Like there, Shauka, I was sure that I was going to hit you as I tried to close the door, but you were actually... I mean, if you look backwards in the car, this is what smart cars are like. They're beautiful, spacious, roomy cars, as long as you don't turn your head more than 90 degrees. And then you realise there's no more car back there. But technically though, this is a sports car. It's 2-seater, turbocharged, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, convertible. I mean, I'm not sure what's...
Who's saying it's not?
People go, oh, but it has to be fast to be a sports car, and I'm like, it doesn't. It has to be, otherwise, you know, every sports car from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and most of the 80s wouldn't be a sports car, because they really weren't very fast. But yeah, I've seen people argue that these aren't sports cars, but that's quite literally the definition of a sports car. It has to be two-seater, that's the main thing. And then usually rear-wheel drive, usually mid or rear engine, usually or often convertible. So I did get a reply back from the Rat Place about the stone ship, and it was exactly what I thought they'd say, which is basically there's nothing we can do. They said it won't get any worse, but essentially when the front looks a bit tatty, come in and we'll just redo that one bit, and we can also put PPF on top of the wrap to make it last even longer. But basically it's done its job. It's paint underneath, otherwise that stone ship would probably have taken the lacquer and the paint and the primer off. So yeah, it's... done what needs to be done. I just hope that obviously in whenever it is 2 or 3 years time, I can get that colour again.
Yeah.
Or I can just get a different one and then progress in pieces to a different colour car. So the car slowly morphs from one colour to another.
What happens to the like DVLA at that point?
So it's a bit weird. So the database of the DVLA is significantly more complicated than the form. So the database, and Si can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe allows you to specify 3 colours and an upper and a lower colour. But that's what the form has, one thing to fill in. Now I've got blue down as mine because the insurance company will look at what the quote-unquote colour of the car is and determine premiums based on that. Red cars, you get a slightly worse premium. White cars, a slightly lower premium, etc. But purple is an unusual colour, so I'm more likely to get lower premiums. But blue is a very normal colour, so I've just got blue.
That doesn't make sense and how it's legal.
Because if you run statistics across every single car accident in the whole world, you will find that red cars are in accidents more than black ones. It's as simple as that. Silver ones are quite high up the list, yellow ones are quite low on the list, I think.
Why that is a relevant statistical group?
Because that's how actuarial tables work. That's why my smart car has relatively high insurance. So I think it's got 102 horsepower. It has nothing. It's a 600cc engine. But it is a 2-seater, low-splung, mid-engine, rear-wheel drive convertible sports car. So you get quite high insurance premiums. But it's also got 100 horsepower. it's a nothing. But that's how the insurance actuarial tables work, and they take into account all sorts of things, and colour is one of them. People with red, everyone knows red ones go faster, so there is also that. I think I heard a stranger's voice then.
Hello.
And who are you? I'm gonna guess because I can't see. I'm in VR. I can't see. But are you the nice autistic man?
No.
Oh.
I'm just joined.
Wait, someone in the general chat said that Fortcraft said made his autism very, very happy, and I was like, oh, I said thank you. I was gonna put it on the box. Damn you, Shaka.
Yeah, I dabbled way back in the Xbox
What?
360 days.
Nice.
That's an upside down car.
There's a sigh there.
Well, yeah, I'm less than a lap for the end of the race. Oh, no, I didn't mean restart. Ignore that. That's not what I meant. And unfortunately, although I'm now spectating, the motion rig is learning all the way over to the left. So I've got this. I feel like I'm on a boat that's just.
You have a motion rig?
Yeah, I'm streaming. I'm streaming right now. We stream different games every evening. Rather than otherwise I work, and I'm doing Live for Speed, which is a very, very, very realistic racing simulation, and I've got a 6 degrees of freedom motion rig and a VR headset, which is cool.
Pricey.
No, not really. So this is the first generation of motion rigs with essentially it's a gearbox and a motor, not linear actuators. So this starts at like £1,200, not £12,000.
Oh, I see.
And much quieter.
It's tossing you around. I'm looking at your.
Oh, not in this car. It's not. This is calm and sedate. This rig could do more than a G of movement and rotation. It's brutal.
Flintstones.
No, not the Flintstones car. Actually, I can. While you guys are doing that, let me get. What was that one? It was the Stone Age. You're not authorized to use a requested mod. Hmm? Oh, so have they removed it? Oh.
Yeah.
Because they removed that awesome VW as well. Oops, that's the 6.T. It might be that they're actually getting rid of things that are going to get them into trouble. Ah, yeah, or the author has hidden it. But yeah, because we had that wonderful little VW camper van.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of liking that Burger Mobile.
Yeah, that Burger Mobile does not drive very well.
Do you have BeamNG?
Somewhere.
I was wondering how your system would handle that, because that has direct feedback.
Yeah, so does this. I mean, BeamNG's got the damage and deformation. This game's got the handling. That's why we're playing a game that looks like DirectX 7.
I see. I just like how every beam factors into the physics.
Yeah, BeamNG needs a few things like. Sorry, Mark, if you're listening.
They recently fixed the traction.
Yeah, I know one of the people on the BeamNG team. So if you're listening, Mark, sorry, but it needs better sound. It needs much better graphics, and it needs multiplayer. I mean, there's mods.
It has multiplayer.
It has a mod to hack in multiplayer, yeah, but they need to properly put it in. But yeah, Live for Speed is the other ultra realistic indie vehicle game. We do mean to do R Factor. As I said, R Factor's had a whacking great update.
Alright, show me what this thing can do.
What, the rig? What? I'm in a smart car. I ain't gonna do anything.
Show me what your smart car can do. Take your smart car to the limits.
I can't even do that. It doesn't have enough horsepower to get to the limits. Like, it gets most of the way down the straight and it goes, yeah. But yeah, this one is
oh shit!
Very small amounts of. Henry, what the fuck? This one's actually got very small amounts of movement because the car is so slow. Whereas I get in a fast car, the rig obviously moves substantially more. But yeah, this rig, when you crank it up, it is absolutely lethal. Stuff like Colin McRae, the rally games, they are absolutely brutal on it. Whereas this is thankfully a nice, calm car. What you can't see on the rig, I've also got vibration units under my feet and a vibration unit under my arse, so I get tactile feedback through that. And a little handbrake here.
And a big bass shaker.
It's not very big, it's a tiny bass shaker. Oh god, no, too fast, too fast, too fast. There are people that put massive great bass shakers on their units, like multiple thousands of watts of bass transducers. I've got like 100 maybe. I think my front ones are 15 and my arse one's like, no, it might be 40. Yeah, about 40. Sorry, who are you, random person?
Scuttle.
Scuttle.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Oh.
Which car is that?
Microchell. Definitely not a
Okay.
Mercedes Smart Roads. Smart. Hey, Schalke. Flash my light.
Wanted those brake lights?
Oh yeah, they do have brake lights. I don't think Henry and Mr. Chicken, Andy and Henry are using them enough though.
I am pressing them.
Hey, this car has
it-
this one has ABS. So you can brake very hard on this one.
Ooh.
Did you get the speed on me, Schalke? Did you? I can't tell. Can't. Yeah.
Minimally, not in time. I can't get back on front of you, but and now I messed up the gear change.
Oh yeah. Thank. I was about to say I didn't mess up the gear change, which I normally get distracted when people are overtaking me. So if I brake. Oh, I was going to brake early, and then late apex, but you decided to do the same thing.
Oh, Live for Speed is shareware.
Well, there is a shareware version of it, yes. We're on the S3 version, so we can use mods. So this car is not legally licensed. But it's a great game. It's proper hardcore simulation. Like it's, you know, one step above like R Factor or iRacing.
Wanna try it out?
Yeah, but it looks like arse. Don't get me wrong. It looks absolutely terrible. But that has the advantage of running very nicely in VR. Whereas Dirt 2.0
Or
sometimes
on potatoes.
well, Dirt 2.0 drops like 20 frames a second on my PC. I don't have much more hardware I could throw at the thing. It's just embarrassing. Whereas this, I can actually run it at
You
full
can get the
anti-aliasing.
3090 finally.
Well, I'm running on a 2080 on this rig, on the motion rig. And I should not be seeing...
Oh, that's the rig. That's
yeah,
right.
but I should not be seeing 15 frames a second in a game on a 2080. Like, I just shouldn't. That's
On
just...
any game.
You right back there, Schalke?
I thought I had
No,
a good
you're gonna
line, but
have to speak
yeah.
up. No, I can't hear you. You have to speak up. Sorry. What was that? Huh?
Wow.
It's like that bit in Shazam.
Super rude. Oh,
Wow, that has the most.
Yeah.
Did you flash the
the
headlights
windows
there?
aren't spinning. Forget about
Yeah.
Yeah, the headlights are pathetic in these little cars, aren't they? Andy, how are you 25 seconds behind? Did you stop for a picnic?
I may have
Tilted
rolled it.
over.
Ah, you rolled it. Okay.
No, I beeped at him as I passed.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Top Gear way. You have to leave a man behind. Oh, it's so far out from every corner. I'm stuck again so quickly. It's nice having a sunroof in the
a
car,
nice
though.
break from Star Trek.
Oh yes, you're playing Star Trek Online. I never played that because it had such a disastrous launch.
Oh yeah.
So apparently you could start the game.
Oh, it did.
And
But
finish
it was
the...
12 years ago now.
Yeah, but all I know about you could start the game and then max out your character in like 24 hours flat. They just didn't test it, and you started off as the captain of a starship, and everyone's like, "Oh, I want to start off as an ensign, and then work your way up to engineering, and then everything like that." Oh, shut.
Well, they did that, and it's the ensign to captain takes about 24 hours. So you get a little taste of it. It's silly.
Yeah.
And as an ensign, you're still captaining a ship. It's really funny.
Does it support like squad
But
play, like Star Trek Bridge Crew, or not?
You can, or
Yes.
one of the missions has 25 people to fight the mission, but it's groups of 5. I think 5's what it's natively able to handle.
Okay, but what I mean is, could we play it and one of us is engineering, one of us is helm, one of us is captain, etc., like Bridge Crew, or is it your 5 spaceships and 5 captains?
No,
Wait,
5 spaceships.
See, that's
But you
not-
can be a space or science engineer or tactical for DPS, tank, and support.
Yeah, but that's a
Not heal, support.
that's an engineering spaceship, not an engineering role on a spaceship.
No, both.
Okay.
You've got to pick what kind of captain you want to be, science, engineering, or tactical, and
Yeah.
those pretty much dictate how well you handle certain ships. Like, I can go get it. I'm a science or captain, but I can go get an engineering ship. I won't be able to maximize the ship fully, but I can use it just fine.
Yeah, I think they missed a trick without having proper squad-based play. I think that would have been awesome. Because Star Trek Bridge Crew was really good. The problem was it was just too samey very quickly. It just wasn't enough in the procedurally generated missions, which is a shame because it looked very cool.
All the content for Star Trek Online being used for Bridge Crew would have been sick. People would have lost their shit over that.
Yes.
Because there is so much stuff to do in Star Trek Online. I would hope so. It's been around for 12 years.
Yeah, Star Trek Bridge Crew, they released it, it got the next generation patch, and then they never did anything else to it. I really think Ubisoft should, and everyone else should, they should re-release their first couple of generations of VR games. Because Steam just hit 3 million VR headsets connected last month. So the market is not like it was. Because, I mean, Werewolves Within was brilliant.
And most of them are Quest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Werewolves Within was brilliant. It just needed more people playing it. Star Trek Bridge Crew needed more done on it.
But CBS knows where its money is, and it sticks to Star Trek Online.
Oh, is it subscription based?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you can pay for veteran membership. And I don't know what it gives you.
Well, I
'Cause I have it. I've had it for a long time. Because it's a one-time purchase. Like, there's no subscription anything with the game.
Is it free to play, but you can give them a chunk of money, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all free to play. Money involved in the game is very much a choice. Like, you don't get anything, really.
Car no sound.
Like, the lockboxes it give weapons that are interesting, but they don't offer any real advantage.
Tad, just shut up for 2 seconds.
Like one of the lockbox. Okay. I can't talk about that game.
Is there any sound? I think there's sound on the stream. Someone just said there's no sound. I think there is. Yeah, it's a car. I mean, oh, hold on. Let me beat my horn. Yeah, there is sound. It's. What's wrong with Henry? What are you doing, Henry? Why are you sideways? Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do. It's quiet. I mean, this isn't a loud car.
Oh, thank you.
So what you can see here is the famed smart car Tridian roll crash cell. So instead of absorbing the impacts like a normal car, it transmits the energy around. There's no helping some people, is there? Why is someone joined in a different car? What are people like?
I have it outside the car yet. Can you see that? Oh.
It is most certainly not a smart car.
No. Problem is, as I said, every race is logged. So if someone joins with a better car, he'll be gone. It doesn't bother me, but that means instead of getting first place on my permanent record, I'll get second. And that does bother me.
Be on the
Really bad.
Cybertruck?
Lord.
No, yeah, the LODs. Yeah, the
Oh, that's...
what's we call it? The LODs on this game are absolute trash. Like the modded ones, and they're really poor, and they pop in very early as well.
Oh. Wrong few. Safe.
Right, now I need to find the N key on my keyboard. There we go.
Believe in you.
So I found it. So I can kick him now. Basically, they choose a slower car than us. I'm fine with that. That's on them. If they purposely choose something much faster, this is not a multi-discipline race. This is as close as we can manage to stock car racing. That was good. That was good, Andy. That was good. Little bit wide, but that was good. Slow in, fast out, as I said. Also, this guy sucks. He has a vehicle. He's got.
But meaning to ask.
Oh, he's rolled it.
He has rolled it. Oh, there he goes.
Nice spun mine.
Andy, are you still working on art for Fortress Craft Phoenix?
Every now and again.
Yeah.
I've been, to be fair,
know
I've
you
been
just
playing
moved.
it recently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we haven't really
I've
started.
been-
Fortress Graphics hasn't
What's
really
wrong with
started
that?
production yet, though. Like, we've got a few bits and bobs going, but it's September.
No, but you've gotten some of the little bits.
Yeah. But Andy, I have got
Uh-huh.
Andy to do some of the generics. So there are some like generic meshes that I use in lots of games. I've just got some updates too, which is good. And well, you probably haven't yet, but we've got the fancy toggle switches.
And all the kit bashing.
Well, yeah, I mean, in some cases Andy needs to unkit bash something for performance.
Oh.
yeah.
That's
been
a
playing,
performance
yeah.
hit with all the polygons intersecting?
No, it's not the intersect. It's you've got more meshes. More meshes is slower. Less meshes is faster.
Oh.
So drawing 10 objects with 1,000 verts is slower than drawing one object with 10,000 verts. That's good, Andy. Yeah, that's it. Take it wide all the way to the end.
Someone
Yeah.
got their Indy car out.
Oh look, someone's just chosen the Formula Ground Effect, which I believe is the fastest car in the game. So yeah, smart cars versus a Formula Ground Effect. Brilliant. Did you see the picture I put? Did you see the picture I put in the Discord, by the way? I was at the Formula E building in my Tesla, ironically, and all the charges were taken up by BMW i8s. But that's where Formula E is housed, is that building in there.
All right.
You think they'd have more
Nice.
charges, but yeah, they've got two, and the BMWs nicked them. Oh, Andy just lagged out. Now he's back again. And
The
again.
i8s are dual motor, I thought.
Oh,
Yes, but you've got you don't want to start by charging the electric off the petrol. You want the petrol for go fast, not for charging.
Oh. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
I still think it's funny. The only i8 I've seen had a license plate of McLaren.
the i8s are beautiful, beautiful cars. They're really nice. They sound great. They are wonderful.
Blew my mind.
They're
Yeah.
they're a bit understeery,
I
shall we
was looking
say?
at going, what the hell is that?
Yeah, they're a bit understeery, but they are, and they're
But
expensive. Like $200,000 expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I did look it up and I was like, oh god.
yeah, I've seen a few. They are beautiful. I saw one the other day, and it saw me and belted it off. Like he just put his foot down and it just tore off with a lovely engine, though. That is one of the weird perks of driving an electric car. When you do come across a car with a cool engine, though, I don't have to like wind down the window and pop mine into a high gear to hear it. I can just hear it. Too fast, Andy.
Uh-oh.
Don't hit the sausage.
Chicken's creeping up on me.
Ah.
I
The
do
tag's
like
back.
the ABS though.
That's an interesting one. The cat just laid down in the middle of the hallway and then my internet went to shit. I'm like,
Probably not related.
does the cat emit 5G?
Well, if you wrap your cat in tinfoil, in theory, she can sleep in certain places in the house and knacker up your Wi-Fi. Oh, good lap, Shalko. Look at you go. I have realised, by the way, I filled my car up. I'm at 100% fuel. I do wonder if I am, given the very light weight of this car, hurting myself a little bit. I don't think it's my main issue. I think my main issue is my cornering and braking. And drifting.
What? How much better would you be at it with less fuel?
30 kilos better. What's that? About the weight of a baby red panda. I think I've got the American
Just a
sign right
child.
now. What? That's not how Americans work.
That's true.
The best one was the
That's his beard.
was it Colorado police? They put out a thing
It's fine.
saying a large boulder the size of a small boulder has blocked the highway.
My banana for scale?
They meant large rock, just in case we're clear. They didn't
I'm sure
have-
there was a picture.
There was a picture of just a small boulder.
But was it a large boulder?
No, it's a small boulder. As I said, they meant to type rock. They meant to say a large rock the size of a small boulder. But you get this things like this weighs as much as 6 washing machines. Like we have a way of measuring the weights of things. You don't need to do it in. You know, it's like they go, the size of 6 Olympic swimming pools, or as long as 12
Arbitrary
football fields.
nonsense.
Like I don't know how long 12
Anything to
football
avoid
fields
the
are.
metric system.
Yes, except 10mm bolts. So they've adapted to those.
And it's not the football fields you're thinking of anyway.
What's a 10mm bolt in?
What, kilowatts?
What?
Oh, 10 mil. What?
10mm bolts.
Start again.
10mm
What's that in
sockets.
foreign?
Yeah.
Well, no, Henry, do you know what they call the American system?
English system?
No, because I deal with some early 80s arcade cabs from America, and they use the American system, and it's not called the Imperial system, even though it is the Imperial system. They call it, and I shit you not, the standard system.
Standard.
That's what they call it.
yeah.
The system that only one country in the whole world uses, they call the standard system. So, in standard, what is a 10mm socket? You should know, Tad. You're the only person who...
Half an inch?
I don't know.
No.
Do you not
less
know?
than
3/8 or half an inch, one or the other.
Which
that.
is
7, 8,
Not
7.
off the top of my head. I don't convert them.
Which is
I just keep big sockets on it until one fits.
hold on. Which is the socket that you famously lose and can never find? That's the 10mm. What is that in American?
Oh yeah, that's always the 10 mil.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah.
What is that in foreign?
Either 3/8 or half.
It's
One or the other.
It's not half. Half. That'll be 3/8.
It is
13 mils
3/8.
about half inch.
Is that like M6?
M10. 10mm bolt, Andy. M10. What do you think the M stands for in M?
10mm head.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
but it's 10mm head, isn't it? It's not 10mm.
Which needs a socket. That's gonna be 10 mil.
Yeah.
What?
No.
No.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know what the standard is. Is it up 2 or up 4?
No, it's
Arbitrary?
What is it? It's something like 7/16, the 10mm.
Okay, but when you've got an M6 bolt,
But-
Oh, God.
what does that generally?
Yeah.
That would generally have like an M4 socket or an M6 cap. But I don't know what the rule of thumb is for the bolt thread. We do talk about really interesting things on this channel, guys. The bolt thread relative to the internal or external diameter of the head. Oh, hello, Dora. Have you come to fight the chair?
There's a cross flats.
It's still threads per inch. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
No. That's called pitch.
It's not TPI. Oh,
So I have still got the.
No, threads per inch are two different things.
I have still got the steel bolt inside my motorbike that I need to get out. So I have bought the hardest economically viable drill bits you can get. Does anybody know what they are? Anybody?
No.
I can't buy the most expensive because that is well at my price range. That's like 150 quid for like a set of 10 drill bits.
That's machinist stuff.
Yeah, that's not happening. So yes, I've got a bunch of titanium carbide drill bits. That's the hardest you can get sensibly. So it should be able to drill out hard
Wasn't there a
steel.
Monty Python skit about that?
That tungsten and titanium carbide? No.
Yeah, there was
No.
tungsten carbide drills.
Don't think so.
I swear that was.
I don't think we had
I
tungsten
guarantee
carbide
you that
drills.
was.
I don't think we had tungsten carbide drills in the 70s.
Oh, there's the
shit.
brake light.
There we go.
Whoa!
Oh, failed to charge.
But yeah, above that
Well.
is is tungsten carbide the one above it? Now I've forgotten. But yeah, I've got titanium
You were talking
carbide.
about titanium.
Yeah, I've got titanium carbide drills, which are only about twice as much as normal drill bits, but apparently are very, very, very brittle. So I need to be gentle with them,
Yes.
as opposed to sort of, because they will snap. But essentially what I need to do is drill the inside of the bolt out with a succession of large drill bits until the bolt loses all structural integrity, and hopefully I can get it out. Well, the thing is, it's been pointed out to me that there are only two types of bolt. There's ones that are horizontal, so you can put a big machine on it, and all other ones will be a bloke with a nice drill bit drilling it out for you. So I'm like, right, I'll give it a bash. I can't make it any worse. Worst case scenario is I drop it off at the machine shop saying, good luck. But I don't know. I said
What is this for?
I took the exhaust off my motorbike, and all but one bolt came off.
Oh dear.
And that bolt, it seized, so I rounded the head, so I cut a slot, and then the slot tore, and then I squared it off, and I tried that. That didn't work, and then the bolt's getting quite small. So then I got some cutting nuts. I don't know if you've used cutting nuts, but they are insane. So it's a nut, and the outside of the nut is just a normal hex pattern, and the inside is a sharpened reverse thread. So as you loosen it, it cuts onto the bolt. And I used the same torque wrench I used to take the wheel lugs off of my Impreza. It's a proper torque wrench. And I applied pressure, and then I could feel it moving. And I'm like, finally, it's moving. Finally, after several hours of fucking with this, it's moving. It wasn't moving, it was the bolt slowly shearing. So the bolt is now basically flat with the cylinder head. Cylinder exit, sorry. So if I can't fix it, I then have the difficult decision to make. I have two options. Three. One, pay to get the motorbike transported to the shop that will remove bolts. 2, drive it there with no exhausts. 3, drive it there with the exhaust not attached properly, so it's potentially blatting hot gases onto me. Now, option 2 sounds the most fun.
Number 3.
That could be risky though, because I don't know what direction the hot gases will escape. Because it'll be sort
Side
of
without
attached.
the bolt.
Yeah, but that's pretty much at my leg. It's a cruiser, don't forget.
Oh dear. Oh
But
dear.
I have run the engine with no
And
exhaust.
something to keep in mind with drilling the bolt
Yeah. I'm all ears.
is it's really important to drill it straight.
That shouldn't matter in this
Like-
case, because what I want to do is destroy the bolt. But yeah, I will try and drill it straight,
Yeah,
obviously.
but because if you're driving it in crooked and you go to bigger and bigger ones, you will get at the hole you're trying to save.
Yes. Well,
And I'm sure I'm assuming it's threaded.
Yes, it's threaded, yeah. I'm hoping once
Oh,
I
dear.
have, once I've done the smallest bit I've got, and then made the hole bigger with the next one, I'm hoping, because I do have bolt removal tools. Once I can get some purchase inside the bolt, I should be okay. But otherwise, it will just be slightly bigger and slightly bigger, and say until the bolt, hopefully, just disintegrates or isn't strong enough to stop me attacking it. Other than that, it's taken to a machine shop, and they will probably bore it out 2 mil bigger and put helicoil in there. Andy, you're not at Tad's house, are you? I ask because you seem to have the same ping as him.
Not that I'm aware of. I might be on the wrong route.
Let's not stuck into this house. This house has enough people in it.
We've got a router and a booster. I might be on the router rather than the booster.
Oh, you're not wired?
No.
There are a whole bunch of magazine tips and hints about getting better internet speeds, and they're like, use an Ethernet cable to connect to your router. It's like, oh no, we've gone full circle.
Basically, save using power lines, which I don't really get on well with. I can't go wide.
The thing about power
I've never
lines...
tried that. Is it any good?
It depends. So I run my Xbox over power lines, and it's pretty good. You just have to be a bit careful about what else you run near it. And for what... Pick your use case, work out your maximum bandwidth, then multiply it by 10 at least, and then get a power line adapter that would do that. So I think I've got 2 gigabit power line adapters, and they'll maybe manage 50 megabit, and that's about a 40-to-1 ratio. But yeah, massively overspec the power line adapters, because when they're talking about the speeds they get, they're talking about if you put them both in a 4-gang socket and don't plug them into anything else. That's what they're talking about, rather than real world conditions. Oh, and in good news, as I might mention, the next patch of my Tesla lets me change the colour of the car on the in-screen dash, so that is perfect. And I have never been so thankful for a feature that literally everybody else is like, why are they bothering with this shit? No!
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Will it support a lesson?
It's, no, but you can set all sorts of different things. It'll be closer. Currently it's white. But I'm very pleased.
That's what color it is.
Well, in the US, Tesla sell their cars pre-wrapped if you want, just not anywhere else. So that's why they're offering the service. But it's quite a nice little render. But you can select a very metallic purple, which is good enough.
You think you could hurt yourself on that ray?
No. I'm. What's a more brutal car I can take out for the next race? The Formula E?
Erga?
Try that.
Yeah.
I want you to pick something that will, like, jig you around next race.
The other thing to note is however much you see me moving around, I feel it 10 times as much as that.
You can mess with somebody in the real world. I've crashed into him and made him spill his drink.
This is true.
Funniest thing I've
We
ever
don't just
had.
did that intentionally.
Yeah, Wreckfest is awesome on the rig.
It just worked out like that.
Yeah, we need to change cars because Schalke's got this one down to a fine art, it seems.
Well,
Yeah.
we've been doing this map every time we've ever played this game.
No! Oh, that's not fair.
Hello, Flag, eh?
Yes.
Are you on roll?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Did you make it across the finish line?
No, I was hoping to slide across the finish line sideways.
Second.
I can. Oh my god! What the hell, Henry?
Did you get a penalty?
You put me in the pits! That's worth
Fantastic.
That's worth a
I'm
clip.
gonna see it on the stream.
If somebody wants to clip that, that's worth a clip.
Was that he punted you over the wall at a speed in excess of 50 mile an hour?
Yes, into the pit lane.
Or he was going too fast and received a penalty.
I believe if I sort by date, I think it's the very first car added. Oh no, it's near the.
I think my steering's a bit screwed.
Oh yeah. Oh no, hold on. Yeah.
Force feedback is pushing to the extremes.
Yeah, if you sort by date, the car you're
Andy
looking
died.
for is 26 is the 11th 21, so it's Formula XRE. Yeah, this one's a lot faster, and has the advantage that it is what's the word? Electric. So no mucking around with gears. Just make sure you fully charge it.
That's going to do me for the evening.
Oh, it's good to see you again. Send us more pictures if you can.
Likewise.
Oh.
If I can find the
What, a camera? Oh, you can find her, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for popping on,
Always.
and I'll
Catch
see
you
you
later.
again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still quite a nice car. Oh yeah, now I can feel, because it's got much harder suspension, I can feel every bump and dip in the road. But it's the braking that's going to be quite a lot more interesting. Oh, I keep changing down, that's a bad idea. Vroom.
Doesn't have a horn.
Well, no, it's a race car.
Not very good race car then.
Because race car.
Yeah, right?
What race cars have got horns on them?
They should have raced the good
Good
ones.
No, not good ones. Is everybody in a blue car apart from me?
I ran out of
green
time to color.
Oh, I see.
Shit.
Is it because it's electric? I did think about getting my car wrapped.
Wow.
Whoa! I did think about getting my car wrapped in green, but felt that was a little bit too virtue signaling. Whoa!
Ominous.
Whoa!
Goodbye.
I was sleeping around.
I think Henry's going to win this one because he's the only one that didn't screw up the first corner. My car appears to be okay, so I don't need to pit. Yeah, it's good. Let me check. Clutch, oh, I don't have one. Radiator, don't have one. Gear, don't have one of those.
Brakes.
Haven't checked those yet. Yep, those seem fine too.
Not regenerative.
No, apparently that's coming in the next patch.
The mythical next patch.
Well, I mean, I only found this when I bought a turbocharged car, and I got a turbocharged car about 6 years after I started writing racing games professionally. And it was only when I got a turbocharged car that all the games I worked on suddenly got much more accurate turbo simulations, because I was like, they're all wrong. They're not even close to what a real turbocharger does. So same thing.
Spit out.
No, Henry did.
I did.
I bet. But it's
My fault?
same thing. I
Sorry.
suspect that no one on the team drives an EV, or they would have made it.
Yeah. Oh, I stopped. Thank God.
But this
Oh,
has got
crap it.
this has got fabulous
Power.
brakes. And a torque curve of lethality.
141 miles an hour backwards.
Did you change down 2 gears and put it in reverse?
No. I got stuck on sand.
He's playing Kirby.
How am I? Oh, I'm in first.
Hi,
That's like-
Shulker.
Whoa! But yeah, compared to Wreckfest, this game is just so gentle on the motion rig. Especially this track. The race track where you've got the train lines across the track is horrible.
Funk.
I have a funny feeling this car can go a lot quicker than I am, by the way. Like, it seems to have plenty more grip and downforce and brakes.
Humongous review mirrors.
Whoa, rear view. Oh, shit. Oh, no, must not go on the gravel.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, I had I got my front wheels on the gravel, then I had to reverse back so I didn't get the back ones on. Holy moly, you guys are miles behind. Did you not pit in, Schalke?
Yeah, we've.
I guess I could try that because now I'm spinning so easily.
Oh, there goes one of my tires. Yep, I'm having all sorts of trouble.
You should turn your brake power down. Or play on an Xbox pad. Sorry, beep, 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 beep,
I spent all
beep,
this
beep,
money
beep.
on the damn freaking steering wheel.
Oh, well in that case, just learn to press the brake pedal less hard. Like, don't you have the same steering wheel as
Does
me?
not compute.
G92, whatever it is. You have to
Pedals?
press. You have to press the
Yeah,
brake pedal.
923.
You have to press the brake pedal very, very, very hard. Do you have the little set of gear indicators in the corner showing you how hard you're braking and stuff? You have to really.
What those are?
Yes, bottom right. Oh, bollocks! You have to really, really put your foot on the brake to hit full braking on these. Like you do in a real car.
I do.
But don't. That you should almost never use that. Because basically the pedal goes to a point where you feel like more resistance. You only want to be a little bit past that point. You don't want to smash the pedal in, or you'll pop your tires. Certainly on this car.
I call shenanigans.
This car doesn't have ABS.
I'm pitting and my battery power is not going up.
Why would they don't charge during a Formula E race? You have to manage the electricity you start with.
Really?
Yeah. Hence why.
They don't have like hot swappable.
No,
like,
no. That's the point.
Big chungus batteries they throw into them.
No,
That'd be cool.
no,
Stop the
because
car sometimes they used to.
yeah, because then they wouldn't. The goal is for Formula E to come up with very, very, very efficient cars. If you're swapping the batteries, you don't need to have efficient cars.
Oh.
You have ones that burn through electricity. So yeah, that's why they're very, very big on regen.
Neat.
I did actually the other day. I went up to a friend of mine's house, and he lives the other side of I'll say a mountain. Well, a hill. What's a big hill that's not a mountain? One of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically I got a couple of miles
Ridge.
of energy back into the car. Because I could see it on the graph, it was all downhill. And the car just held itself at the speed limit, but while putting energy into the battery, which is super cool.
Nice.
That's super cool.
It's sadly only about 30% efficient to recapture energy, but that's a big focus because in theory you can get 100% of energy back. Like the maths work out. I mean, you lose a bit of tire friction, but you should, in theory, be able to recapture 95, 98% of your energy. I do love this car. This is one of my favourite ones. The cab over was quite cool. We should try that one too.
It's so pleasant.
Well, the thing is, I found this in Forza. The electric cars, they're just better. They all of the advantages of electric, and the only single disadvantage, which is it takes a little bit longer to refuel the car, doesn't apply in a race. So you get all the advantages, all the torque, none of the gear change rubbish, and they're just much better to drive. Hence why Forza I've pretty much only driven the Taycan, because it's much nicer than all the other cars. Okay, 140 mile an hour, suicide run into the wall. Oh
No,
that's
You've
making.
got so much to live for.
Ow. What was the cab over? That one was quite fun. Installed. No. Oh, the
Big bird house. Oh yeah.
That's one thing I haven't done, by the way. I was going to wait till I was nearly out of battery, nearly out of tyres, because I can do unbelievable burnouts by putting it into track mode. I'm in the Ace pickup, by the way, which I seem to recall was quite fun. It's got a good engine, at least.
Wow, slow flying.
The only drawback is your guy puts his hands on the steering wheel in a stupid place. Yeah. So the Ace 100.
Oh. It's...
You'd like it to be 8. And red line's at 6,000, which should be enough for anyone. Oh, this is gone.
100.
Ooh.
It's...
It starts with ace. Oh,
The
ow.
dragster or the pickup?
Out the pickup.
Yeah, there's 2. Okay.
What? What? Oh, when you say there's 2, you don't mean there's 2 trucks.
There's an Ace 100. No, there's an Ace 100 pickup and an Ace 100 dragster.
Right.
But that one's work in progress.
Yeah, this is just a truck. A vehicle. It's a ute.
What?
If you like.
Hey, you say that's a truck.
What? How is it not a truck? What is it if it's not a truck? It's not a van. It's definitely not a van, is it? It can't be, because...
This was something I would call a... I know it's not, but this feels lorry-ish.
It's not a lorry, because lorry and truck are synonyms. Would you like another guess? I mean, this is a...
Truck.
I do love Schalke's mystery machine color scheme. I mean, it does say Ace 100 pickup, but it's not a pickup lorry, because that's not a word. It's not pickup car, because that's one. But what's the only word that could come after pickup other than your mum? Ow.
Okay. Look at the texture for the back tire. It clips through the tire.
It's because you've taken damage.
No.
Not you. That's on yours.
Yeah, I've taken all sorts of weird damage. But this is V8 rear wheel drive, so drive accordingly. Why are we not starting? What are we waiting for? Waiting for Henry to choose a colour that's not awful. Ooh, not awful. Tag, can you put your brakes on for a sec? Cool, thank you. Just want to make sure the brake lights are working. And they're off. We've got the mystery mobile, the hot dog thing, and Henry in the pea soup thing. Wow. Wow.
Gotta fight this sucker.
Yeah, this is a fun and interesting... Tad.
You bumped into me.
I don't think I did. Oh. Come on, Schalke, a little bit faster than that. And there's Now we found Schalke's limit. They can't just thrash it around. This car requires...
No, you really gotta...
You can.
Oh yeah, I
way.
remember its drawback.
No weight on the back.
No, that's not the problem. This is the vehicle's top speed. 3 gears, and you'll max it out during the straight.
3 gears. Oh dear.
It's just like an...
I do like how it says Ace 100 on the dashboard.
Yes, until you hit something, then it gets a bit corrupted.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a nice car. This is actually quite a fun one to drive. It's not as good as the camper van, the VW camper, but they're taking it out, so I assume they got sold off. So make the most of the smart car while it's in. Because this is a moderated...
I'm pretty sure the G-Wagon's still in.
Oh, now that was a great drift.
Yeah. This is rarely... It looks like it shouldn't be, though. There should be no weight on the back tires.
Well, therefore it's good for drifting. That's what you want for... Oh, no, 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 no.
Thought I heard a meow.
So, Henry, have you worked out how to drive this thing in a straight line yet?
Nope.
That was
Maybe.
You only made it like 50 yards. You're like the quintessential Mustang owner, just putting his foot all the way down, going, "Oh."
There's a race version of this car that has a spoiler. I'm going to be doing so much better now.
Oh, is there a different version of it?
3 of them.
Oh, is this what they call it, a variant? In the top right when you select the vehicle.
Yeah. There's a race variant, a rally, and something else.
Oh,
The one you all are using.
The cool, this is the drift version. I have an itchy eyebrow again, damn it. Ah.
That is unfortunate.
It's a pain in the arse in VR.
Oh, new person. What sort of Formula car is that one gonna pick?
My wing mirror has broken. Pace car connected.
No!
I was doing so well at the start of the race. It's all gone to pot. Oh, I wonder if I've actually done my car a disservice. I'm struggling to get it around corners now.
V10.
So it's got a Dodge.
Pick some.
It's got a Viper. Oh, it's got a Viper engine in it. And it's V10. I don't. Some Audis use a V10 as well.
Yeah. And Lamborghinis,
Who?
I think, don't they?
Who? Audi.
Audis and Lamborghinis.
Well, that's the same same company now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, Lamborghini got
Lamborghinis
bought
are,
up by who?
Lamborghinis are now sit on an Audi platform. So Lamborghinis sit on the Audi R8 or R10 platform, just with Lamborghini design interior and body styling.
Oh shit. Well, probably it's cheaper for them not having to design their own engines anymore.
Well, more importantly, it means that things actually got
Thought
some
that
level.
was kind of the point, but
It's got, well,
you know.
no, it now has some level of reliability. It has German electronics now, not Italian.
And that goes with the same motorcycle joke you made earlier.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, it is a joke, but it also was very true in the 80s. Like,
There's a grain of truth in it.
Yeah. Not so much now, but it's the same thing with French cars. Like, the electronics of French cars, like, which is why when I test drove the Peugeot, the electric Peugeot, I'm like, this is the same with the Vauxhall. I did the Boca. I'm like, yeah, this is a French car, and it's electric. Like, yeah. Alfa Romeo are bringing out they're now going all electric, no more hybrids, and everyone's like, oh, it'll have no soul or passion. Right? Do you mean brum brum noises? Because you're not talking about the gearbox. Because no one will go, oh, you know, I really love in cars changing gears, those double clutch gearboxes. Now everyone goes, fuck me, double clutch gearboxes are amazing. Yeah, so Alfa are now doing their first ones based on the ID3 platform, I think.
But you're still gonna get those people with nostalgia.
Yeah, the thing is,
Talking Demolition Man.
well, as I
When
said,
she saw that Mustang.
well, I took my Impreza out for the first time a week or so
Was
ago,
it a Charger?
and it was like, oh, it's my Impreza. It sounds very good, but I put my foot down now. There's no speed. There's just drama. And I was like, oh, I've always enjoyed the drama, but I've always it's always felt like it's gone fast. It just, compared to the Tesla, it's not. It's slow. I have got the Tesla a little squirrely under cornering now. I've hit the bits where the front tyres have got a lot of weight in them and it's feeling a bit unhappy, and that's cool. And obviously the Scooby is unbelievably light for a modern car, so that always feels good. But mostly just changing gears, having to use the handbrake and bother with clutch control and putting it in the right gear and all this thing. In the Tesla, you just go right foot down, go. Right foot down, go faster than an Enzo Ferrari. You know, it's not just a little bit of go. It's a lot. I swear I've done something terrible to this car. I'm sorry, car. I think I'm downshifting too early because it's only got 3 gears. I think I keep seeing.
So if you give.
Ow. If I give. Don't get me wrong. No
so
one.
if the option came along to turn your Impreza electric, would you?
The thing is, it loses some of what makes it an Impreza, which is the fact it's 1,050 kilos. I mean, maybe. I mean, the thing is, the Impreza looks great, and I do love it. It really does turn heads. It's beautiful, beautiful, and great fun. Possibly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The thing is, I say, what gets
Depends
me...
on how much it would cost.
A lot. Well, probably about half the value of the car at this point, which isn't actually too bad. The problem is, I say, with a lot of the internet commentators, they blatantly don't drive real cars. They obviously don't. It's really very, very obvious. You know, going on about range. So a friend of mine, he bought the Taycan, and he said, you know, I drive sports bikes. I've driven them all over Europe. The concept of getting 250 miles out of one tank of fuel on a sports bike down the motorway, it's like, you've got to be joking. We stopped every 120 miles. So yeah, this idea that you need 1,000 miles to road trip, and it's like, you know, this has never happened in my motorbike career. And I was there when I was at Donington last week, I think it was. Again, I was chatting with them, what about the range? And I said, well, I'm not, no, the thing is, I don't know what the range of the Tesla is. It doesn't matter, because that's not how it works. You charge it up during your journey. But I said my Pretzel will get, you know, by the book 280 miles of full tank, and I get 200-ish miles of full tank. And if I'm racing on a track, I will not even get 40 miles for a full tank. And if I'm drag racing, I won't even get 20 miles for a full tank. So, and they're all quite surprised by this. And I said it's the same thing applies to EVs. If you thrash them, you don't get anywhere near the stated range. But your stated range is driving in perfect weather on absolutely level flat ground with almost no fuel in it, the car absolutely polished and clean, the spare tyre taken out, the driver not having eaten this day. You know, it's as good a number as they can get, and in the real world you'll never get it. I think I scrubbed all the tread off these tyres, you know. How's the race version then? Is it better?
Well, I honked at you when I went past.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I can't drive this car anymore. Right, given your lap there was 7 seconds quicker than my best. We should try that one. Yeah, it's F9.
Hi, Shulka. Oh dear.
F9. There we go. No, tyres look all right.
Yeah.
They're a bit warm, but not very.
Going fast enough.
Well,
We're not going fast enough to destroy tires.
well, I will spin a lot.
Oh.
But yeah, Malcolm was saying to me that we should do some more VR games, and I'm like, I agree, we should. Oh yeah, top right, road, cruise, race. Okay. I'll choose race. Say in the top right, when you choose the car, choose race. Let's see if that is less terrible. How many gears has it got? Still 3. But no, we should play more VR games on stream. It's just that there are a distinct lack of them and a distinct lack of multiplayer ones. So, but I do agree we should.
That was going to be just about to cross the finish line.
Well, try not to spin the car straight off the finish line.
Still not in race though.
Oh, well, you should choose that for race. This is a beautiful looking car though, it's really nice. I would like one of these. In reality.
Never been a fan of cab over engine.
Well, that was the Toyota Previas. What did you call the Previa in the US? What was the very early Toyota MPV? Very early 90s.
Land Cruiser?
No, MPV, not an SUV.
No, this was there was something that was not a SUV.
I want to say
it was an MPV.
I want to say Gran Canaria, but it wasn't that. Something like that. It was called a Previa in this country. I don't know what they called it in the States. Someday you will play online on open servers, just like Just a Ride. I don't know. What's Just a Ride? And we haven't. There are some like role-playing servers for Live for Speed, which we've not tried. You have to like drive around and unlock more cars. What a terrible pull away, Henry. What was terrible? What were you doing?
I'm trying not to spin.
Oh my God! Tad just teleported in front of me. Oh my word! Wrong side of the road, Tad.
Well, I'm out of your way now. Oh, sort of.
Yeah, this got much better tyres, hasn't it?
Tad just slides off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So if ever,
That's not the tire's fault.
if ever you want to improve your
100% the operator.
if ever you want to improve your lap times, the best thing you can do is better tires. There is no bigger improvement to your lap times than better tires. Kind of closely followed by less weight, and then more acceleration, and then sort of better brakes. Okay, just checking it does have a horn.
You didn't hear me honking every time? We were at the starting line?
I've forgotten what's on the schedule for Friday and Saturday, but I wonder if we should try and slot in a sneaky spaceships chat session. And just sort of chat about the plans and how it currently is.
Will it be VR only?
No, you can play it already in 2D. It just supports VR. Because I was kind of wondering about how let's call them the police. How do the police catch the criminals? Is it just, we found you, that's it, you're out? Do they have to capture them? Do they have to get within a certain range and then they do an EMP? Do they harpoon them? Is it pew pew laser guns? You know, what is it? Or is it just, we've got you, you win? Or does a chase ensue at that point? And if a chase ensues, do I feel that the handling of the game is actually open to a high-speed chase? Because you realise quite quickly the vehicles, they drive all right, but they are designed for quite slow, gentle arcs, not sharp 90-degree bends and slamming on brakes, because that's not really what spaceships do.
Which means they need more power.
Yet.
No, the thing is, when you give it more power, you also need to give it more brakes.
Yeah,
but then you...
But it's a spaceship. You just give it 6 thrusters.
Well, it has 6 thrusters, but you can't have 6 equal strength
Just
thrusters.
up the size of the thrust.
So the thing is, if you spend 5 seconds
Why not?
accelerating, you have to spend 5 seconds braking. That's the issue.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so what will happen is you will spend 20 seconds accelerating, and then 2 seconds out from a wall, you'll start to brake. That's what happens. You're like,
Oops.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
We can.
Although, it's a good teaching environment. It's just not a fun one.
Well, I mean, I haven't put... There is a toggle you can switch on to switch on proper, I'll say, expanse-style physics. I should probably add in gyroscopic assist as well, so when you rotate, you get a hard rotate rather than thrusters, because you should be able to do that. But right now you can already toggle on, essentially, fly like an aircraft versus fly like the Expanse. You can fly like the Expanse all you like, but, you know, when you go around a corner... So if you're going forwards and you want to describe a 90-degree right turn, you have to do a 200-degree turn and thrust at 45 degrees towards the turn and against your current motion of travel. It's really hard.
Maybe the police would be like, if they catch the criminal in secret, then I have to do the catching subtly that they know the target doesn't run away.
Yes, that's interesting. Though obviously, if we are going with a plan of the criminal's secret, the police can't use Discord to say, I've got him. I was wondering if they could, for example, sneak up behind the criminal, fire a tracking beacon, and then the criminal is live. Of course, you don't know it's the criminal. You might get it wrong and put the tracking beacon on the wrong vehicle, but you pop a tracking beacon on there, and then you can chase him. But I was trying to work out what the capture mechanic is. Is it just bonk you're out? Is it pew pew laser fire or EMPs or what? I mean, should I implement...
I like the EMP idea.
Well, that just means you get close and press a button and then the enemy ship... Or maybe it could be. Now, see, this is where EMP could be interesting, because right now you can toggle the main breaker off, so perhaps you're only vulnerable to EMP if your breaker's on. So what you could do as the criminal is belt it at the police, flip the main breaker off, and then you're invincible to the EMP, and flip it back on once you're past them. I don't know. I mean, it depends whether or not the.
That's some high-level gameplay right there.
Well, yeah, but is it the hunt or the chase that's the fun part of the game, which is the bit I should focus on, or should I say that there are 2 stages to any level? You start off with the hunt, and then a chase, and hopefully for you, an escape, but possibly not.
And they got to be sure they're chasing the right person, because that's a lot of effort going into the wasted lead.
Well, you could chase an AI. The thing is, you could possibly say threaten an AI. That's not quite the right, but the AI will stop for you, but they'll mostly ignore you. So police cannot. But the same thing for a human. If you're a smart human, you'll stop in front of the police car and flash your lights at it, and after like 5 or 6 seconds, you'll just try and fly around the police car, because that's what the AI will try and do. So the police can say, "Oi, you're the criminal," and if you don't react, you can hopefully pass off as, "I don't know, officer, I am merely traffic here."
If the arrest is too plentiful, then police just arrest everybody, so the tracking beacon needs a cooldown or some kind of limitator.
Well, no, because if you put like tracking beacons on everyone, how does that help you? There's just tracking beacons all over the map then.
You only get so many.
Yeah, but even if you tag everyone, what does that show you?
Why would you have an unlimited number of them?
But even if you do,
You only get one.
But even if you do, how does
Or
that?
even two.
Even if you do, how does that help you? What's the advantage of having tagged everything on the map? You still don't know which one's the human, and you can't keep an eye on them. If you tag one guy, you can keep an eye on that one guy. If you tag 20, you'll very quickly lose the one that you think is the actual criminal.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, but
The cops only have one beacon, though.
But why?
To a
Why?
ship.
Why not let them tag as much as they like? Because there's no.
That would trigger the
Then they'll
window.
just tag everything.
So what? What's the disadvantage of tagging everything? I swear I'm just repeating myself here. It is not in the police's interest to
Well, you
tag
already
too
answered
much.
that, saying, well, then,
Yeah, but it's not in your interest to tag too many, so why should I stop you doing it? If you do it, that's your mistake.
Because if you catch the criminal,
oh.
or you
'Cause
catch
then you've
the
got
wrong,
trolls.
yes, that's punished. You're saying?
Say it again, Chowka?
So if you track wrongly,
Yeah.
then that takes minus points for police, or
Well, no, but if you track the wrong thing, you're wasting time
Unless they're
because
American.
you're following the wrong target. If you tag too many things, you've just got the issue that you're now having to follow 20 radar blips, not one. The idea is what you want to do, you want to be sure it's the criminal, tag him, you know, hit up the police emergency signal toggle saying, "I found him, everyone get over to me so we can capture him easily." This is quite a cool vehicle. But if you tag lots of things, then how are you going to communicate to your fellow police officers? It's the how do I even say which tag it is? I can't.
Has got a low rider now.
Well, you're on your side. Hang on, I didn't see that before.
Sorry, Shaka, say that again.
the criminal could also have a tagger, and then when the police is tagging only one, and then the criminal is tagging 2 additional targets, then police have to coordinate which of the 3 tags.
Just turn the wheel.
But the thing is, I rather like the maybe the police vehicle can have the police vehicles have a number of toggles that say I require assistance or something like that. They need a way of communicating amongst themselves that if the criminal is on the Discord with them, which I assume they usually will be, it will still work. So having the criminal able to screw up the tracker is... the thing about the tracker is if you track the wrong thing, you can make a mistake that you will follow down the rabbit hole. You think you're in the right and you're not. And I think that is probably a better idea. Tagging multiple things is up to you. If you think it's one of these 2 guys, tag them both, keep an eye on them. That's your call. I probably would put a cooldown, but you know, a minute or something. But yeah, I quite like the tagging idea. I'll have a nice corner tab. I'll have a think about that one. But I think we should try a few sneaky bits.
It's just you and me. I'm not that one.
Yeah. I think we should try a few sneaky runs, and we should also try some chases, like pretend chases, obviously. Like there's not a lot of collision. You can go through quite a lot of the world. And just see how it goes, and whether or not, you know, chases are cool.
It's the multiplayer.
Works fine. But it was fine last time I tried it.
Or how good's the netcode?
Well, I wrote it.
Oh, so it shouldn't be an issue. With my terrible, terrible internet.
Well, the way it's written is I have been smart. The server maintains an internal list of all the AI and all the player ships, but that's internal. And that's how it simulates. The rendering does not understand the difference between player and AI, and all the clients don't have any concept of AI or player. They only have fleet ships, so you cannot cheat via software. There is zero method to do so. I have purposely engineered it that way. So if you've got crappy internet connection and you're the server, you could possibly differentiate, because obviously the human players would warp, but all the players would see all the ships having lag all the time. You know, don't host on a shit internet connection is, stating the obvious, you would think.
I don't host nothing.
But so we're thinking about a system. I mean, I was wondering whether or not the ship should have management, like energy, so you can thrust really hard, but you'll wear out. Your capacitor will empty, and that only fills slowly.
Like in Squadrons?
Yeah, like in Squadrons, that sort of thing. 'Cause I did quite like that. And it'd be quite cool.
That was pretty clever.
But it'd be cool if you're running in eco mode normally, and that means that you're at 200% efficiency, but you only got half speed. But then you can click into 25% efficiency and treble your speed. But it's a toggle, so you've got like an eco, a normal, and boost set of toggles.
You just want to use that toggle for everything.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I love it.
So yeah, that'd be quite. I quite like that. I like that in the original X-Wing, like the minor ship management stuff. So you're like, having to manage my shields, having to manage my weapon energy, all of that.
Yep. Power plant only makes so much.
Yeah, well, like Snowpiercer, the engine is internal in duration, but not eternal in production. They've had. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know how Snowpiercer is like. Maybe it's nuclear. I don't know. But they very vaguely hand waved. That's how it works. That's fine. Mr. Chicken's back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Welcome back, Mr. Chicken.
Have you been watching the new season of Snowpiercer? Shaq, I know you watched the first one. Or anyone?
No, I'm not aware.
No, I'm enjoying it. They've got some more budget this year. Some more renderings of trains, and I like trains.
We know. You've made that very clear.
It's a song.
And I do miss Open TTT.
Yeah, we should probably give it another whirl. I mean, the problem is with that game, it's like with a bunch of them. What I need is for, go on, let's pick another car. What I need is for one of you lot to go off and spend the time that I don't have. Oh, is it that one? Yeah. So Zombie 64 was the car, but they've removed it from the list. Anyway, I don't have the time to spend going over all of the mods for a game and working out how we're going to play it. I simply don't, because we're talking about a different game every night. It's not going to happen. But if you were to come and say, hey, we're doing it like this and with this and with this, and it's these mods, because like with the Live for Speed, I can't. Tommy 28.
He's looking.
This is what I saw the other day, but I saw a real one of these. So Tommy 28. Nice. Yeah, I don't have the time to spend working out how to play the game. Transport Tycoon has a lot of mods. It's hours of work to work out which mods we want to run. Because there's me suggesting some of the mods we could run for Dyson Sphere program, and it's like I can cope with the mod we've got. I haven't got time to spend playing a game for a few hours, making sure the mods work,
Mandatory.
and the mods that interact with each other and all of that. Horror. Yeah, I will see if there's anything I need to get done for tomorrow. It will probably be in VR with keyboard and joypad as the expected controls, which I know is rubbish, but that is just where it is at the moment. But yeah, I will see what we've got on. I think possibly Saturday. That might not be a bad time. Oh, no, actually I visited Saturday, so it might need to be Friday. Oh, actually no, it might need to be Tuesday. I will check my calendar.
Oh, is that on Tad?
I think Tad is...
Not yet.
No, we haven't seen you yet.
Yeah, it takes a while for the game to download the textures.
Oh, this does not break very well. Oh, there we go. Tad's here now. Skinny tires, lots of sideways. Yeah, so when I was at Alton, there was one of these on track, a Bentley blower.
Oh wow.
1920. But basically, the track was closed, but essentially this guy's rich, so he just comes along and said, I want to go on track. There was one marshal on the track. I dread to think how many millions of this car was worth. But yeah, all the marshals were... Because I said, the marshals... These are the same marshals who looked at the fake batteries in the front of my Tesla and went, are these the batteries? But they knew everything you could about Bentleys, because he's like, yeah, there's no way that's going to run the whole afternoon. It just won't. It will break. Something will break on it. Come on, restart. Come on, restart. Tad's here.
Oh, wow. This thing goes 75 miles per hour.
Okay, this is the same group of people who, one of them asked him where the gearbox was in the Tesla. Like, I don't even... What? Wow.
Imagination.
Man, I can take my foot off the accelerator every couple of seconds just to pretend I've got a gearbox.
Put a little bit of regen in there.
Interesting racing line, Tad.
Oh shit.
Mine. All mine.
You two are side by side. Too fast, Tad. Slow down. Slow down. Fast, slow into the corner.
Never.
Fast out.
No.
And all.
I see in the mirror.
And the amount of right foot you can put down is a ratio, the inverse of how much steering. We're talking about 75. I'm up to 100 now.
105. Oh, braking early-ish.
Oh, there's another gear there.
There is.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's a bit slow. Oh, I like this one. This is slidey.
Goodbye.
Oh, now I'm still here. God, but it's slow enough.
Oh.
Bloody hell. Yeah, I hit you, but only because you took the corner a lot slower than I felt was sensible. Sorry.
I think I was going a bit slower than I was expecting to be there.
I braked, but
down.
I just slid into you. Oh, yes.
Can you imagine that these were actually cars people used to race?
Used to? They still do.
Like, this was the pinnacle.
Yeah, well, so I
mean, they take it on the racetrack, but they don't race it.
They do.
Some people do.
Yeah, but there are still... So
really?
I saw one of these, and I'll say these loosely.
Wow.
I think what I saw was a Fiat Touring. It wasn't the Beta Touring, it was a slightly smaller Touring. And it was old school, like real old school. Drums front and rear, chain driven.
Wow.
Absolutely enormous. Like, no headers. Like, the headers just were about, I don't know, an inch long, so it just vented to atmosphere. Very loud. And it was awesome. Lovely wooden steering wheel like this. The only concession to modernity, which I love, it had a USB socket. And that was so he could charge his phone and his GPS.
Priorities, man.
Well, I mean, there's keeping it pure and there's practicality. Because he drove it to the events. I mean, the car was from the mid-30s. But it wasn't like it wasn't like, you know, a pristine Bentley, but it still worked quite amazingly.
So not show ready, but definitely race worthy. That's nice.
Well, it was road
and
legal.
probably a lot more fun.
But yeah, the fact it was chain driven kind of blew me away. Because if you look on these, you can see the chain at the back over the rear wheels.
It's chain for the axle? That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, remember, chains have less drivetrain loss than, you know, universal joints and differentials. Chains are very good, but it's a chain. Like, you have to continually adjust it.
They just don't do differential.
It snaps. Well, no, you can have the differential technically early. You can have a differential, but yeah, a lot of them were fixed axle and chain driven. Because less drivetrain loss.
I love the video for that old 30s video of differentials.
Oh,
that explains it.
It's so well done, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the 30s, and you're like, wait a minute. And all the comments are like, this video taught me better about differentials than anything I learned in school.
Have you seen the same? They did one about suspension as well, and about damping and rebound and stuff.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Yep.
Superb. Another one about clocks and how escape mechanisms and quartz like timing works. That's really good. Yeah, that's really good.
Neat.
Escape rings. That's it.
Escape.
I like the Navy videos about the big battleship guns on how they worked. That shit's fascinating.
Oh yeah.
The amount of engineering that goes into just a really big gun.
That one on their targeting computers as well. The mechanical computers, like wow.
Big quotation marks computer on that one. But it's what they had, and it fucking worked.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did watch quite a good one on Sidewinder missiles and how they work, because Sidewinder...
Yeah, that one's good too.
Nowadays they have software, but originally they were entirely mechanical, and it had a...
They still make the mechanical ones.
Really? Well,
they don't jam. You can't jam them. You can't interfere with them. There's no... They're just... Beautiful piece of engineering.
Yeah, but it worked with a mirror, and the missile steer rate was based on the rate of change of the dot product along different axes. I've written Sidewinder simulation code, and the only way to beat a Sidewinder missile is to go faster than it. If you cannot go faster than it, you cannot dodge it. It is not possible. I suppose you can outsteer it, but if you can outsteer a missile, you're probably not human.
You're squished and falls in your seat. No way.
Yeah.
There's not enough hick maneuvers to get through that.
What are you two doing back there?
Racing.
Is that what you call it?
I mean... Oh god. Where are you going? I wondered about that. You do know there's another lap, right?
Crap, yeah, that's why I stopped. That's why I stopped to wait for you going, what are you guys doing? I was like a minute ahead after 6 minutes of racing.
You stopped and thought, oh, that's the last lap. Oh, wait.
No, I was waiting for you.
Thank you.
And then I saw you doing pirouettes and stuff. I'm like, oh dear, what is he doing?
I like the way the wing mirrors are all dirty, though. That's a cool touch.
Yeah. That is pretty cool.
Physically shift up for the last gear. That's pretty cool.
Because you can hear the rear wheels let go. You can see the revs go up as you start to turn. I think it's got a lock differential, so the wheels start to spin.
Oh. Yeah,
because
start to skid on one side. Because that's how that works.
But it's got enough power.
It's cool that it models that.
Well, it's got enough power to break traction and therefore spin, but not so much power that you can barely tell what's going on. Like, I can feel it spinning the wheels around most corners, but in a manageable way. My God, you guys are so slow.
Very cool.
Come on, Tad. Chop, 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 chop.
This is a Sunday driving car.
Well, that might be how you're driving it.
Yeah.
That was more Vin Diesel than Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
This is such a chitty chitty bang bang car.
What are you doing? What was that?
Bat.
Wow.
Ow.
The only thing that would have improved that
Look out.
is the moment you left the track.
That didn't work.
The only thing that would improve that, Tad, is the moment you left the track if you shouted shortcut. Am I going to win by default?
I tried to help.
Yeah, you're.
So,
That's glorious.
so just remind you,
you win by default.
This is Live for Speed. We're not playing SnowRunner.
I mean, but we're succeeding at still runnering.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can probably get this car into nice drifts, which the motion rig really likes to simulate. You can see the whole rig twists, and I feel my arse moving sideways. Well, I think we'll do one more, and then I might have to stop because my bum is going numb sitting in this chair.
What car?
We'll do this one again. Yeah, hopefully
Not
you've
sure
got the hang of it. This one's good. I said it's just about driftable. It's a little bit slidey around the corners, but doesn't have enough horsepower. Oh, LES says that there is so that in the next patch of Live for Speed you can organise the mods. Thank you. Do you happen to know why they are removing them, by the way? Because there was a car called the Zombie 64, which was really cool, which was it was a Volkswagen camper van. It was really awesome, but they've removed it. It's very good, Tag. Get in the Tommy. I can't drive those in VR. You cannot drive those. Like some of the joke cars, you just can't. Like your head is in the wrong place and everything. Right. No retreat, no surrender, and Shift R. Is there actually a live update to the patches, or are these just pre-release test patches? Someone's talking about they have improved the mod thing, so that you have some improvements. I mean, I want to be able to tick, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, sort by horsepower. Favorites is a start, but I want to eliminate anything that's, and I want to sort by electric or not. I want to find all the vehicles that I want. That's a better colour scheme, Tad. You're in British racing green with gold wheels. It's actually slow enough, this car, so you don't really make really terrible mistakes.
You were saying?
Wow.
Lie down now. That rumble strip just fucking chucks your car.
Slow in, fast out.
Well, I figure I'm going slow enough that I can get at it, but...
Slow in, fast out. It's very rare you will enter a corner too slow. It is very common you enter it too fast. If you do enter a corner too slowly, it means that you then have the opportunity to make a perfect exit. So this is the best thing I can give you, is brake sooner than you think you should, and you'll be like, oh wow, I took that corner really well. I really wish I could turn the lodding up in this game though, because bits of Henry's car are disappearing at about 3 car lengths, like the brake discs. So I don't even have my foot on the throttle here, just coasting around. There we go. Now my foot's down. Putting your foot down during the chicane is dangerous. A bit like a real car. There's a nice jolt when I change gear in this one. You hear it go...
Yeah.
Especially that last one. That one really just clunks.
Yeah, so about 120 is a good braking spot. Not too hard. Yeah. Oh no! I carried so much more speed than you, Henry, and had to bleed it off because I was going to slide into you.
Should have done it anyway, then I might have gotten ahead.
On your right. Come on, little car.
It's not got the greatest acceleration curve.
No, so you want a late apex and carry speed through the corner. Oh, too much power, Henry.
Ow. Ah. I'm in the no man's land. Now I'm snow running.
Upside down.
No.
No.
Do you require a tug?
I've beached it. Awesome.
And these are the kind of tires that'll just cut through the sand rather than actually grip anything.
Where's four-wheel drive mode?
Right, but I mean, honestly, Elias, half of the cars in this are lifted off of other cars, but the VW camper van's gone, but the smart car isn't. And again, there's no real indication why,
sense.
which is a shame. I mean, if you're going to remove mods that are ripped off of other people's games, you're not going to have very many cars left. Like, they are all ripped out of...
Yeah.
I mean, lifting the mesh out of another game is obviously... that should get you removed, because that's obviously not legal, but... the other thing just seems like a pointless waste of time. But yeah, what I mean, there aren't any actual updates for us. Was it 0.7V? I think, I can't remember. Doesn't say on screen anywhere. Should we restart and do one more then, and try not to crash it, so we actually get a whole race?
You're right.
Come on, don't crash it. Brake early.
You did turn.
Oh, how'd you get up there?
You bounced into me.
Yeah, I have thought about doing a mod for this game because I would like to have the smart roadster in there. I've got the models for it. But as
get those.
As we're saying, people have laser scanned it because we're looking. Obviously, it's an old car, looking to make bits for it. As I said, that you can tell the authors that don't play on internal view or don't have VR because they've got awful cockpits.
They're not called that anymore.
What cockpits?
Nope.
They absolutely are.
Crew station, or at least in the army.
Right, but Henry is not sitting in the crew station. That sounds like a pub.
Where else would you be driving this car to?
You do understand that the word cockpit has nothing to do with penises, right?
Yes, it has to do with the chickens they were chucking out of them to do World War I things. Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Henry sucks, la 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 la. I'm going to crash off this corner and then I will look stupid. I like the bumper on this. It's just got like a stabby bit on the front to kill anybody at the ankles.
As you do.
But more than
most the cow catcher.
More than most cars, you have to keep an ear out in this one, or keep an eye on the RPM, because when you go around a corner, the RPM will shoot upwards, and that makes your wheels spinning. I am very glad they put mods into this game, though. It's taken a long time, but I am very happy with that. We should try R Factor 2. I said I think everyone's got it, and that game is mod heaven. And they have recently updated the UI because it used to be this like weird external launcher. So you ran the game and then select the mods you want and then quit the game. Then it ran like a third-party program to download them. It was all more than a little bit horrible.
Couldn't figure out how to actually start a race with anything.
Yeah, so I'd like to go back to it because they've redone the UI. And if this game looks DX7, R Factor looks DX9. It's a bit better looking.
But still very last gen.
Well, no, more like 3 gens back. This one's more like 4 gens back. I really wish they would just, the authors would get off their arse and just write a half-decent clear coat shader. Clear coat shaders are a solved issue. You don't need to invent it from scratch. Just implement a shader that, I mean, I can't, no, this can't be running on fixed function pipelines. It's DX9, I think, this game. But they should implement a proper paint shader. That would improve this game so much.
Write them a sternly worded letter.
Well, I do know Victor.
Mr. Chicken, please.
I do know Victor Van Vlaardingen. I've talked with him quite a lot because chatted with him. I started chatting with him when I was at Criterion. So basically, in a very nice way, he said his engine sounds for shit. And he said, but it's completely simulated. I'm like, right, but it sounds like a shit recording. It might be physically modelled, but you have to physically model something that sounds authentic, not shit.
Would be your complaint.
Well, I mean, that's my speciality is engine simulations.
Yeah.
Oh, good laps from both of you.
Good times for everybody.
Yeah.
We've got a good pace car to go off of.
Oh, would you like me to stop driving slowly? Because I've been waiting for you.
Well, I know I'm going to be last.
So not too fast around the chicane. You want to aim for a perfect exit to have all the speed down the straight. I will have to check for next week then that we are running on the right version of Live Speed. If there's been an update, there's obviously a compatible update, then we should definitely get it. Because we have been doing a lot of the modded cars. We found a few favourites. The smart car's great. This one is very good. The Formula E is also good. I wish I could have seen some of the Formula E cars. They were all
very fast.
They were all inside the building, so I only got to see the cars parked outside. I think I'm back.
They wouldn't let you in.
I didn't ask. Can I come and look at the Formula
Well,
E
your
race
fault.
cars? No. There's that conversation. See.
But what if they had said yes?
Well, I am back at Donington, and I think I'm back on Donington on the 26th. A friend of mine's doing a track day there, and I said I'd go along. He's going in and race car, so that should be cool. I think it's an RX-8 he's taking.
That Honda Civic?
No, RX-8. A proper RX-8. He's now roll cage, non-street legal, the works. But I'll be going. I won't be tracking it, but I'll be going in the Tesla.
Isn't that a rotary?
Yeah. It's a
cool.
it's a 1.3 litre engine that puts out like 200 horsepower. They are mad, but he's souped up.
Rotary's ridiculous.
Yeah, and to be fair, as Mazda said in their press release, the best press release ever, we have almost perfected the rotary engine. It's like, what do you mean you've almost perfected it? So, and a modern rotary engine is impressive. So basically, for each 15-minute session, he only needs to put a litre of engine oil into his car, and that's pretty good. And I'm not joking. He genuinely takes 8 or 10 litres of engine oil with him. And then after each session, top it up.
Wow.
You have to.
Yeah, I know.
That's how it works.
You do for a rotary. I mean, people always say, "Oh, check your," and I've done it in the Impreza. I've checked engine oil after every, and I was like, I've never had to put any more in ever, because it's a boxer. That's not how they go wrong. They go wrong in different ways. But yeah, I'm going to go in the Tesla, and I've got camp mode in the Tesla, so I'm going to try it because I'm so I am so tired of all of these posts. Oh, someone said, now get this, they said the Tesla only has 12 kilowatts of potential energy. I'm like, right, well, let's stop you there. It has 80 kilowatt hours, not 12 kilowatts. Like you've just said, how fast are you traveling? 6 miles. It's like, this is a nonsense statement.
Yeah,
and then he says the heater in it is 4,800 watts, so therefore you could only run the heater for a bit less than 3 hours. I was like, sorry, the heater in it is 4,800 watts. What are you talking about? You would be baked alive.
We install those in houses.
A 5 kilowatt. Yeah, the thing is, a 5 kilowatt resistive heater would be unbelievably and incredibly hot and uncomfortable, but it's not. It's a heat pump. Are you telling me it's got a 5 kilowatt heat pump? Because my heat pump in my house is 2 kilowatts, and it's like you kind of sort of know what you're talking about.
Heat pumps are efficient as hell.
Yeah, heat pumps, it's like 7-to-1 over resistive.
Yeah, they're super efficient.
But
they're awesome.
The thing is, I always say to people, if you assume the Tesla has a shitty 1 kilowatt resistive heater, which it doesn't, it has an ultra efficient heat pump, but just assume that's more than enough to keep you warm, and it has an 80 kilowatt hour battery, therefore it can run the heating flat out for 80 hours. And I don't know what fucking snowstorm you're expecting to be kept in. The usual response is, yeah, but what happens if it's not fully charged? All right, what happens if your diesel car's only half full?
Then it's less.
Like,
yeah.
The other thing is, I did actually do a little bit of research, because the most efficient vehicle with the biggest fuel tank I could find, I can't remember what the hell it was now, some truck I've never heard of, but it can idle the engine for about 52 hours. A Tesla can idle the engine and run the heat for 80 hours, but after 52 hours of idling, do you think your car is ever going anywhere ever again? It will be fucked, assuming it doesn't catch fire in that time frame.
We idle police cars for that long.
No.
What,
if it's a truck
hours?
like that, it's a diesel, and diesels just do that.
Yeah, but it's not a stationary diesel, is it? It's a car. Elias,
all
thank you.
the army vehicles, you can just sit and park and just leave them running for days.
Yeah, but that's not.
They don't care.
Yeah, but
most of them do that anyway.
But there's a military grade. I Josh. Elias, thank you for letting me know. We will definitely get.
The only thing that tells me is that it's the lowest bidder.
Yeah, I will definitely grab the updated version for next week and let people know if there's a modification to the mods. I think we're doing. I think we're doing Dyson Sphere program tomorrow. I think I'm going to be away Saturday. And Wreckfest Sunday, and we should look at sneaky spaceships on Tuesday, I think. But thank you all for watching. Elias, cheers for hopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you tomorrow for, I think it's Dyson Sphere program, I've forgotten. Whatever I'm playing tomorrow, I'll see you.